Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. I just wanted to share my thoughts because it's been really nice to read the chat and see all the comments from people, whether it's sharing, their experience and how they managed to book a spot, or I guess commiserating with others who haven't been able to book. It's been really, really nice to read all those messages. And I was so tired yesterday. I couldn't think of, what's the right thing to say to people. I know Sheikh was probably feeling the same. But it got me thinking actually about something that I think about sometimes, in Hadith al-Ifk, when Aisha radiallahu anha was slandered. It says in the Hadith in Bukhari that she was crying and crying and crying, and she couldn't sleep. And she mentions in the Hadith that a woman from the Ansar came into the house. She asked permission to enter, and Aisha gave her permission to enter, and she said she just cried with her. And I've always thought that's so beautiful. And the fact that she mentioned it, I think, shows that it meant a lot to her, that one incident of somebody just coming and feeling that emotion with her. I think a lot of the times when these things happen, the instinct from a lot of people, myself included, is to just say, guys, say alhamdulillah, these are first world problems. We have nothing to cry about or complain about. But I think when you're feeling something really strongly, you don't want to be hearing that. You just want somebody to feel it with you. And I think it's been really beautiful in the chat to see people kind of comforting each other and just giving that message of like, I'm there with you. So alhamdulillah. And that's something that Sheikh is very intentional about creating, is that sense of community. I can tell a lot of you are worried about missing out on that. And we're going to try our very best to get everybody on the package. But I can tell you that this is not something that's unique to going for Hajj with Sheikh Abu Isa. He brings, mashallah, a sense of levity and community to every single one of his projects. And maybe it's the first time that you guys are experiencing this in the Hajj chat. And I know it's like super intense and not like anything else. But as somebody who's been studying with him for a while, and I know there are people who have, been around him for much longer, this is something that this is the vibe that he brings to like all of his projects. So alhamdulillah, there are so many other ways. Oh gosh, the adhan is going off in the background. Can you hear that, or is it just me? If it's going to disrupt the audio, then I might go stop it. You can hear it? Okay, give me a second.
It's not so bad. It's not so bad with that.
I'll continue. So I just wanted to say, I wanted to assure you all that we are going to try our very best to get everybody in. And if there's, some kind of exceptional case where you can't, and we think most people will be able to get in, inshallah, just know that there are so many other areas and opportunities for you to learn from Sheikh and to benefit from this kind of sense of community that he builds everywhere he goes, mashallah. There's one of his classes that he's teaching right now. It's called Protect This House. It's about family and relationships. And we also have a free class that he does every single week called Logical Progression. So you're welcome to join that. And the other Hajj with AE trips, of course, where he takes people for Umrah and he goes to Masjid Al-Aqsa with everybody and things like that. So I don't want people to put so much pressure. I mean, obviously Hajj is a lot of the times it's a once in a lifetime thing for a lot of people, and they want to do it with the right person. And we are hopeful that people will be able to get in. But I just want to say to not have too much of a scarcity mindset with this, because there are so many other opportunities for you to benefit from the same kind of sense of community and the same vibe, alhamdulillah, that we've been able to create here. No Hamoud Ba'alam drink today, just San Pellegrino. And with that, we'll get started. Sheikh will take over, inshallah, if he's ready. Everybody can see him. Please confirm in the chat if everybody can see Sheikh. Okay, alhamdulillah. That's all for me. Jazakumullah khair.
بارك الله فيك وداد جزاكم الله خير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك. Oh Allah, help us to remember you properly. وشكرك, to thank you properly. وحسن عبادتك, and to perfect our worship to you. Because if we left it to ourselves and thought that we could do it ourselves, even with the instructions of the greatest of all teachers, the most blessed of all people, the most easiest going of personalities, the most simple to emulate, the most addictive to love, right? Think about all the reasons that you admire someone, love someone, respect someone, are impressed with someone, right? It's their bravery, it's their walking the walk, it's their whatever. And subhanAllah, as an ummah, we are so fortunate to have Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam as our qudwa, as our role model. And as we say, أدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة. He completed, fulfilled the trust that was placed upon him from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was an amana, it was a trust from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he had to do this job, to teach the people. وَنَصَحَ الْأُمَّةِ, through that he advised sincerely the ummah. وَجَاهَدَ فِي اللَّهِ حَقَّ جِهَادِهِ, and he strived in the way that he did that and sacrificed during that effort in a way that was true and sincere to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Considering that, it still is not enough. It's still not enough. However much we think we got this, I'm on the right path, I've got a great teacher, I've got a great class, I'll go to a great madrasa, I've got a great Hajj group, I've got a great team, I enjoy the vibe of my chat, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter from what we call the asbab, the kind of the things that you use and that you encounter to help you along the way, the material things, the tangible things that you use to get a job done. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can bless you to do it properly, to the level that it should be done properly. And so this dua is so important to remember, to use it often. Allahumma a'inna ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husna ibadatik. We're always falling short. We're always falling short. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as we keep asking and turning back to Allah, as long as we keep asking and turning back to Allah. I make this point because I get it, right? I'm addressing folks that are only really here because they're invested in the Hajj, right? It's really easy for me to say, the Hajj is not that important for me, right? Because I've done it and I've done it multiple times and whatever. But I want you to know that even if I had never done the Hajj, I'm educated enough to say and know that the Hajj is not that important to me. It's only as important as the individual obligation that it is. It is not the whole journey and the end of my journey and all the rest of it. It's part and parcel of a process which is meant to develop you. It's meant to help you. You know, it's like, I was thinking about this, obviously I'm a random kind of guy. You know, when you play those computer games, and you're like, jumping up and down and you get shot or something and you see that energy bar kind of reducing down. And then if you swallow those coins or touch those coins or whatever, by the way, I stay well away from video games and all that behavior. I haven't played one in about 30 years, 40 years probably. And then you go, and you're all fully charged up again. And, it's like, you sometimes get armor or you buy separate weapons, you know, and you get a different weapon, a different type of, you know, whatever. And it gives you that power, it gives you that ability, and some are very temporary and some are permanent. Your energy goes up and energy goes down. Energy goes up, energy goes down. You have to understand that all of the obligations, all of the actions are those coins. They're those boost them ups, or whatever I guess they're called. Yeah. The whole deen is about, along the way, the game is to get to the end of the level, yeah, to complete the game. And that game is life. And the akhirah is waiting on the other side. And we have to utilize every single opportunity that comes across our way to get there. And the Hajj is just another part of the journey. It's not the journey itself. It's a journey in of itself, but it's not the journey itself, right? So the reason I say that is because we can get very emotional. We can also get very secular. I've spoken about this before, so I don't want to bore you. I was in the partners meeting, the Al-Bayt senior people meeting about an hour ago or whatever. It was a long one, so it was a couple of hours ago, actually, just got out. And the interesting kind of conversations that I was hearing, it was very interesting, right? Different kind of people were discussing the different kind of packages and the stats and the things like that. And the two interesting takeaways. So I just want you to think about this, yeah? Actually, there's so many things in my head that I'm weaving all over the place. I actually don't know how to be coherent in the amount of information that I want to tell you, but I'll just give it a shot. I guess more so than ever before in the world, ever, there is a responsibility on folks like myself to teach folks about what's actually really important and what's actually not so important. And most people will do that like a salesman. If they're a business, they'll basically try to rubbish one particular product and upgrade their own kind of product. And I hate that idea that I be turned into a salesman. Then I feel comfortable and I realize I'm not a salesman, because actually I'm not interested in selling you the product. I'm actually fully invested in changing the decision-making process that would have made you choose a particular product. That's actually what I'm more interested in. At the end, I don't care whether you choose the product, my product, XYZ's product, plan, program, whatever. But I'd be very, very concerned if in my responsible role as a da'i, which is my number one role, yeah, my only role actually that has any value. I have a working position. I'm a professional in a number of fields, and what? I'm a father, parent, son, whatever. The most important role that I have is a person that is fortunate enough to have become experienced in the field of da'wah and gives it back. It's the only thing that I can rely on upon honor in this life and salvation in the next. What else is actually of value? And that's the point. I need to teach you that in your decision-making process, you've got to actually redefine what you consider to be valuable. And we've been doing that softly in our group. But as I said to you guys before, I'm not a modest guy. My team know I'm not a modest guy. The whole world knows I'm not a modest guy. Bro, I want respect on my name every time that I deserve it. And bro, I deserve it most of the time. And none of you packers give me the respect that I deserve. And believe me, I'm coming to my list where I'm going to start listing the reasons why I need to be, and have a ton of spec on my name. So clearly, I'm not a modest guy. And if you're not a modest person, then you don't hesitate to, maximize any opportunity for praise and thanks and appreciation. But the truth is, it'd be embarrassing if I did that, because it's so obvious that the truth is something else. When you look at my group, you guys, I keep saying my group, that's you lot right here. What did I have to do to convince you of doing things like, right, listen, guys, you live in London, never flown Manchester, never been to Manchester, never, like me, when I was young, I applied for medicine, is another weave, when I finished A-levels, and I applied for medicine in the big London universities, got outright rejected, and I said, forget that, right? And so I committed to then taking a year off, and I did, took a year out, very good for me, very nice, applied again, flat straight rejected again. Obviously, failed medic, yani ila al-ghaya, yani maximum failed medic. And I thought to myself, you know, I made the mistake because I had a zero interest of leaving London. And I'm a Londoner at the end of the day. And those who live in London know exactly what I mean by that. We used to all our life take the mick out of anybody up, you know, north. It's simple when you're in London. It hasn't, when I was young, this is what the rule was. It's everything is London up until Milton Keynes, or what, sorry, beg your pardon, London until Watford Gap. After the Gap, it's all Scotland, right? They used to write up the bloody Brummies and doing this, that, or whatever. You know, the arrogance of a Londoner is unreal. I was so arrogant. And that arrogance continues, right? That's like an inbred thing to Londoners. And the reason I say that is because I can walk the walk because I've been there. The idea of going up north, and in the end, it was remarkable actually because I studied at university in Manchester. The decision was made one day. My dad actually said, son, you can take the car. I was 19 or something. Take the car on motorway, brand new Ford Mondeo Sport, rims, aerodynamics thingy, whatever, sick car. I said, you sick guy. I said, come on in. So then I drove all the way. And obviously those days, not so practicing, whatever. Erica Badu, I think it was, or something. God knows what it was before she was known, famous. Got him blasting down, enjoying myself. Took the car to like 130 miles an hour. All the harams in the world. I was Mr. Haram squared, man. Blasted down to Manchester. Bolded, arrogant as you can imagine. Walked straight into the School of Pharmacy. And I said, listen, I don't know. This is in September, right? And I said, listen, I'm going to tell you straight. I had no interest in doing pharmacy, but someone said that, you know, you might have some space. And UCAS, MUCAS, forget that because I used it all on medicine, whatever, whatnot. Guy goes, what's your grades? I said, I got 3 Bs. And he goes, he asked me a couple of questions. I didn't realize I was actually speaking to the dean. He goes, go on and start. Back in the day, it used to be that kind of mazar. And we'd get paid for going to university as well. That was the only reason. And I drove back the same night. Drove up, down, got my university place, came down, said to my parents, listen, guys, I've got to go next week. Pray for me, make dua for me. And, you know, it was crazy, the idea. I tell you that story only because, Chief, I went into Chelsea mode there. I'm only telling you that because people want to stay in London. Nobody wants to, probably people are quite comfortable to drive to Manchester. But the horrible part is landing on the way back, knackered, dead, whatever, whatnot, then having to get a car and drive back. I get it all. Yeah, I said to you guys, if you want a Hajj place, you're going to have to consider that. Load of you jump straight onto the form. Yeah, we take that, right? Load of you. Everyone has personal space issues, comfort zone issues, whatever, whatnot. Yeah? I'm just being honest with you, right? And I said, guys, all I can say is that I can give you my experience and tell you that quad in a holiday with, you know, you and the missus and family, and you're going with some other people, whatever, you wouldn't go on a quad. You stick to your family structure, this, that, whatever. If you're going away, week 2, whatever, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Vacation. Hajj, I also agree. I understand it. But Hajj with us, where if you've learned anything from this Tarbiyah program, which started months ago, if you picked up anything from my moves and my messaging and my antics and my banter and my team, is that it's to create a group dynamic, a unity, and to teach you all how easy it is, to teach you all how important it is to be united, to be an ummah. And the different backgrounds in this group is remarkable. Converts, white, black, X, Y, ages, 70, 60, 20. We've got a 14-year-old. We have disabled, abled, X, Y, Z. We have every ethnicity under the sun, not just in the team, but in the group. I'm telling you, I said, guys, consider going from double to quad to triple, whatever. This isn't just you, by the way. This is every year. Because the vibe is an addictive vibe. There are people that jive with that connect with it. And That is what I call a practicing mindset, even though you might not have got to the level of practicing Islam or the knowledge that you want to get to, right? It's that vibe itself that brings people together. And for me, the Hajj is just an opportunity to show it to you, to show you how your leaders should be, so that you go back and hold your leaders accountable in your own communities, that they should be available, they should be normal, they should be down to earth, they should not have airs and graces, they should not act the big one, that they should be available, that they should teach you the truth, and they should try and make you understand in a better way than they do, that you should not be so suspicious to the people next to you, you should be welcoming, you should be wanting to help other people that you never ever seen or heard. All of this is planned. If you think any of we just was reading the comments, and there was a brother, that was there from Riyadh, and he helped me. Who do you think found that brother and put him in and changed his title and made it thingy? Who do you think found that sister? Where did the Zaras and the Aishas and the Fulans and the Nabils and the Labibs come from, right? These are the individual people that have seen it work in practice in an Aqsa program, in a thingy program, active in the da'wah, active in the masjid, know the importance of setting an example, know the importance, whatever. And I can tell you that I'm sitting back observing the specific group, the HWAE booking group. And I was just waiting. I didn't want to jump in. Because that's also part of the tarbiyah, right? I was waiting to see how long it was going to take for the first person to get their package to then say, right, I'm ready as well. Okay? And I was waiting, and you could see that after there was a list of people that said, I'm ready, all the helpers, the official helpers and the team, my team, all saying, we're ready, and they were starting getting matched up. And there was a whole list, and then there was just, then the OTPs started getting blocked more. That's when people started to realize that, you know what, it's not just actually black screen folks that should go on, but maybe us who have got past black screen should jump on. So then there was a whole glut of help me. And that's when the people who had got in realized that, hold on, I should be doing that. If they're doing that, I'm helping. They're only helping because I'm already signed in, right? I want you to know that that's what a murabbi does. Always aware of their actions, always looks to inspire because they believe in it themselves. Why am I speaking about all this? Why am I taking this? It's very important. I know that not everybody, but I know some of you will think, what the hell is this? What have I signed in for? Guys, to tell a group of people who are invested is the easiest thing in the world. And it makes the numbers irrelevant. They said last year, how are we going to do 400? I'll tell you how we're going to do 400 last year, compared to 200 that we used to do, whatever. Double the numbers to 400 with the same team. How are we ever going to do that, right? I'll tell you how we're going to do it. We're going to do it the same way that 400 was so easy that we said that 540 is not a problem either, right? It's literally that. And the reason is because people who are invested, who believe in you, who trust the process, are the best of people, man. They're blessed folks, and that's what the ummah is meant to be. And we'll be speaking a lot about authority and leadership, mostly over there in Hajj, okay, mostly in base camp. But I want you to know that you lot have been very, very much an important part of this process. Some individuals have recognized that, and they carry on their own. And I want you to know that none of it is random. The reason I want to mention this is that there were other groups that didn't get hardly any people into their packages. And the reasons were so interesting. America, nearly all of the folks in America, and some of the Americans here will be able to easily sympathize with the reason. Well, I was only interested in Majar al-Kabsh. I was only interested in VIP. And I heard the stats today that actually last year, in phase 3, if you guys want hope and whatever of getting into Hajj, I've already been telling you everything so far. I'm going to get into bragging mode. I can't stop myself. I've got to take the wins wherever I'm getting old. Who knows, Yanni, when I'm gonna kick the bucket. So I'm going to take all of my opportunities whenever I can. I'll tell you now, I said to you, did I not, that your enemy is the country quota, not your fellow brother or sister in your group. right? I said that. We'll come back to that again in a moment. I said quota will not be an issue, and quota is still not an issue when there's some guy hacker who's created a website, and when he tells you, everybody's like, oh, look, the hacker on his thingy, Mr. Reddit. Oh, no, I'm not trusting Reddit. I've learned my lesson. Reddit's a sick idea, to be honest. But point is that you wouldn't listen to me, didn't care what I said, but when Mr. Hacker says every single package is available, so my mate wasn't then, and Fulan in the group wasn't my enemy, and there wasn't the enemy, and these guys weren't lying. The country quota was really my enemy. I said that the visas are going to be redistributed. I said that the majority of our Hujjaj joined. That little part is going to be different this year, and I'll come to speak about that later. But I want you to realize that last year we got the figures. 3,500 visa quota we already know, but they received another 3,500 visas. Okay, in phase 3 and phase 4. Americans received 7,000. 7,000. I didn't actually know that. I thought that they also ended up with 7,000 like we did. So they ended up with 10,000 visas because there is a voracious appetite for Hajj in America at the moment in these last few years, but only if it's in Majar al-Kabsh, only if it's in the VIP tents, only if it's super luxury, blah, blah, blah. I want to catch a train in between the Arafah and Muzdalifah. I want to be 15 minutes from the Jamarat, not 45 minutes. I want to be, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. And they're not interested. As soon as they saw and thought that the majority of packages were gone or whatever, not thinking of a Mu'aisim or a shifting or an X or YZ, not interested. And look at when I was saying to you guys, it's all good. They're all their plus points. But if you want the experience, then I'm going to tell you. And everyone's like, you know what? I'm down for the experience. It's easy to speak to you people because your decision-making process is different. And then that's the first example, America. And I'm going to speak to you about the UK. The other programs also didn't have places taken. There's availability significant. We don't have the numbers, by the way. If you're just waiting for numbers, this is bigger than the numbers, right? We have ideas, but we don't have numbers yet. One of the big travel agents now, this is all travel agent talk. The travel agents in the Northwest, Preston, this, that, whatever, where there's loads of Gujaris, Gujarati community. He goes, as soon as the double sold out, not a single one was interested in touching a quad. He goes, I've got hundreds, but they're not interested. Not interested. And the Al-Bayt management went, what do you mean not interested? Have you spoken to them? He goes, listen, these people have got far too much money to care about what I think, only interested in double, and they're happy to wait until next year to go for a double. Repeat that statement to yourself. They are happy to go next year just so that they can be in a double room in Mecca and Medina. They're happy to do that. Now, if you had said to me that I don't want to go through mental trauma with a rubbish group or have no guidance or have no support or whatever, then I can understand that you're going to wait for your chance, to go proper, do it according to the Sunnah, do it again in education. I can't. To delay the Hajj a year, a group of people, a mindset, so I want you to know that the reason that you people will be successful this year, all of you, whether it's with me, and I do pray that it is, or whether it's with a program which is close, say close, that's just silly, I've got to stop using these phrases, but whether it's in a program that is an acceptable plan B or an alternative or whatever, you're going to go. There's no doubt about it. What's going to stop you? The number, they've made your intentions clear. The quota is going to be over like it was last year. There were people walking in phase 4. It was so dead. It was crazy. It was a weird situation. Anyone that wanted to go could go. Every person. This year it's been a bigger response. More people wanting to go Hajj. It seems to have affected everyone's kind of calculations, and that's why they didn't have the numbers ready for us. It will take another couple of days, but we've got some ideas. And so I want you to know that everyone will go, especially when you're with a group that, regardless of whether you end up with us or not, regardless, the support team will make sure, all of us will make sure that you get through all the way, all the tips, all the news, all the updates, all the hacks, all the X, Y. everything which is halal and tayyib and pure and blessed, we're going to be supporting you all the way. So I think I wanted to say that as a reminder. I think, some of you were like, and I saw this kind of vibe that we're looking forward to the webinar. We hope that he says a few words of, tasalli and to make us feel better. I said, no, I'm not going to be that guy. You saw the Sheikh thingy, Abu Bakr, his son. And, if you felt sad, there's you go. There's your cheer up, reminder, right? I don't know what's to be feel. I mean, I'm not here to criticize the Sheikh, but there's no comparison between our scenario and that. It's a very good reminder. All reminders are good. But I just want you to know that every year that we've seen, sorry, not every year, last year, this year, next year, the future, the majority of the Hujjaj get in the second stage, in the next stage, right? So, as I said, the actual regret is that you're still hanging on and waiting and blah, blah. The good news is I have good news. Let's start with the first breaking news, is that inshallah, it's 70-80% confirmed February 19th. Okay? Phase 3, I'll explain all this in a minute. I will get, I can only do things if with that is there with a pin stick telling me shut up and say this now and shut up and say that. But I actually have written some notes to try to maintain some order and coherence. But February 19th is going to be phase 3. So our concern is that it drags on too long and people get knackered out. So that is a part to be depressed about. But bro, that was because last year our whole Ramadan got ruined. It started before Ramadan, and then we're in the last 10, and we're still, so people who didn't get in phase 1, the whole of Ramadan was stress. Horrible. That's something to need reminders and videos, and I'm so sorry, and be hopeful and pray and blah, blah, blah. Hopeful of what, bro? You didn't get in stage 1, you're going to get in stage 2. Yeah, maybe might not get into our program because obviously it's limited numbers, blah, blah, blah. Might not be able to put a plan together to, suck up the rest, whatever, I don't know. But the majority get back in the next stage, right? So, anyway, having said all that, let's try and get formal. Let me get through some points. Otherwise, you're going to say that this guy was he didn't get to the point, as that guy on the chat kept saying. And he was right. I don't know why you were downvoting him and cussing him. He was right. I can never get to the point. Right. So you're going to have to forgive me. I have to look down to my webinar. Webinar. This says webinar. To my notes. Yeah, genuinely confused why you can be upset right now. I've actually written here. Especially from UK, we always said that there's going to be hundreds of places, but even from the US and Canada, like we said, that also hasn't sold out like we predicted. So I just want to remind you, in case y'all forgot, that everything that I said happened, that the quota would run out in every country and then package wouldn't run out. And that was the case in all of the 3 countries. Okay. We're working on a plan to understand. That's why it's so important that the forms are filled in. Another reminder, not so friendly reminder, frankly. Bit disappointed in the people who got through. No, I'm sure not the people. They all did fantastic. But there's 4 people in UK, 1 person in Canada. Sorry, beg your pardon. 2 people in the UK, 1 person in Canada that still has not responded. All right. Now, I don't know where they've gone. We've repeated the request 3 times in the chat. Everyone begging, guys, help, don't hinder the team, don't hinder the efforts. All right, it's not statistically significant, but, forget the significance. It's not an AE team vibe. It's not an AE group vibe that people are being lazy. Don't like that, bro. Don't like that. Don't like it. So we've got 1 Canadian, okay, that we're still waiting for, and 2 Brits, okay, that need to fill in the form, phase 1 form, those who got the package already, and just give us some clarity so that we can get the numbers. The second form, which is going to be, quite a few of you, is very important, but it's not for people that are considering X, Y, Z, blah, 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 even though you might have to. And that's my job, to give you a plan B. At the moment, it's got to be, whatever happens with AE, if not, we're going next year. And I just want to talk about that, the fiqh of everything. My dad was making a point about whatever, and she said something that is very, very, very close to my heart. She mentioned Aqsa. Hajj is our biggest program. Hajj is our most remarkable experience. But my favorite experience is Aqsa, hands down. The amount of study and the levels of spirituality, let alone political awareness, let alone the service of the ummah, let alone the low-key obligation upon you folks to maintain presence. Forget all that. Forget the politics. Just the iman boost of hearing Quran over there and having it explained in lessons and tours, and this, it's just on a whole different level. Sacred cities, which is the pinnacle, because it combines in one trip all three sacred cities from Aqsa to Medina to Mecca. That's like, and it's something like, but ultimately the reason it is because it's got the Aqsa component, right? Not because of the Umrah. And the Umrah program, many of you are here because we've tasted the Umrah program, and many of you admitted it was the best experience you ever had in your life. And I said, well, wait till you see Hajj, okay? But the people who are here who have been to the Aqsa, and it just was like, this is just hold my Zamzam, yeah? Let me show you what the game's all about. So I just want you to know that to get an incredible experience is not just linked to Hajj, because we told you, for us, the Hajj is not that important. I know there is no irony being called Hajj with AE, because that's where it started. Right? The irony is not there. The irony doesn't need to be put upon me. We are a group that are pushing people to our logical progression, to our on-site classes, to our masajid, to al-maghrib classes. That's our agenda. It's open and clear. We will be on your case all the time. Ask the folks from 24 that are watching this, 23 that are watching, and they're just here for the vibes. Yeah. Why have you not signed up to this? Why have you not signed up to that? You flipping ungrateful, kha'in, treacherous rats. Yeah, I'm on their case all the time. That's my payback. That's how you pay me back, right? This ain't no company. None of us are involved. All of us are involved though in that. Every person that you see in that team is involved in logical progression one way or the other, involved in al-maghrib one way or the other. All of them at like senior levels or da'wah organizations and the like. No one here is a professional travel agent or in any kind of way, right? But they're just the best of professionals in the work, best of professionals in the da'wah. And it's these people that should be running Islamic events, organization activities. And that's what we're doing here. We came to this, we said, who gives a monkeys what industry it is, whether it's a holiday industry or vacation industry or travel industry. We are in the Islam industry. We do everything with ihsan and itqan. Let's apply our set of principles and rules and to this logistics process, whatever, whatnot. We looked at it, we slapped it all off the table, we changed the whole game. We have a program that's incomparable to everybody else's. Obviously. What did you expect? Because we injected Islamic values all through it. We hold ourselves accountable to a higher authority. Who the hell are Al-Bayt? What do I care about Al-Bayt? What do I even care about you? I don't know most of you from Adam. You think that I do this because of you? I do this because of accountability in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because I went and stuck his name all over a financial product. That's a big thing to do. That's a big, big responsibility. When you go and say that, I'm not just going to take you to Hajj like a travel agent. I'm going to try my absolute best to make it about you and Allah. That you get better on this journey, using the Hajj, just using it as a structure, but with a different focus in mind. So the reason I mention that is because some of you will have a decision to make. There's no space. A couple of weeks' time, we can't come up with plans, ideas, blah, blah, blah. The quotas, the spaces are full, for example. Phase 3 is very not like phase 1, by the way. All done and dusted. I said 15, but we'll come back to that in a second. But it's gone, right? It's closed. Phase 3 will normally just linger on and on and on. Website will not be, it will be, fantastic. OTPs coming in 1 second. I did the Gmail thing today, by the way, and I uncovered the time. It's like 2 seconds. I slapped it one, you fish. 2 seconds. And 890 seconds yesterday. 7,600 seconds, and now you're saying 2 seconds like to spit in my face? So phase 3 is like that. Phase 3 is just goes on for days and days and days. And I'm going to be very straight up with you, right, guys? Hands up, my best. There's no space. I can't do anything. Now you've got a choice, and you will have a choice.
Sorry to interrupt you. I don't know if somebody is upstairs streaming Urtugrid or something, but the connection is not great. It's a little bit choppy. It's not so bad. I'm just worried that when you start, giving important instructions and stuff like that, that people won't hear.
I've just been wrangling, isn't it, so far? Cheeky little fish. When you start giving input, the amount I get cussed by my own team, folks. The amount. Is it still choppy with that?
It comes and goes. It hasn't been so bad, but I don't know if there's something you can do. And I'm also I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant for you to leave and rejoin. Yeah.
No, I'm not going to change anything. I don't see anything to change. But is there a consensus in the group now that there is still some kind of transmission problems?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing it both. See, like that question you just asked, I didn't hear it.
Interesting. Because I'm on a 1 gigabyte line, full reception. See everything.
It's okay for me. I'm hearing you okay, Chef. Might be with that.
It's
Jeeves?
being recorded.
Chief? Okay. Shaz? Okay. All waste men, all asleep, all just
Maybe it's me and not you.
It is choppy, even on my side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway, I'm definitely not
Maybe it's
changing.
a UK thing.
Maybe it's a UK thing. I don't know. But anyway, whatever. Thank you with that. I've got no idea what I was saying.
I think it's coming from my end, to be honest.
No, I don't know what I was saying. Where was I?
Oh
yeah, we're at the end. Yeah, you have a decision to make. So do you just take and go to Hajj? Yeah, I think that's good, especially if you have to sacrifice a lot. Childcare was the right age, and I told you with the ladies is very important. In between kids, pregnancy, breastfeeding, blah, blah, blah. That's always tough. Even though all of that has solutions as well. It's knowledge which solves these scenarios. It's knowledge, right? Knowing who you can, expressing breast milk in the proper way and the like. And there's always ways around this. But I just want to say, what is that? Remind you all, what is the Islamic obligation for Hajj? It is an obligation, not a time obligation. So a person, if they feel that to go in a particular year, i.e. like now, and it will lead to loss or harm or detriment or whatever, then it is legitimate Islamically to delay. The bigger question is that is the poor quality of the alternative programs that bad that you would want to delay just to try to get into my program next year? So I'm going to make a statement now. All right. I'm going to talk to you about my scale. My scale is a scale which is very different to everybody else's scale. We're going to be speaking about my scale quite a bit, especially when we come to the issue of dua and the like. But I'll give you an example. On my scale out of 10, us as a Hajj experience and the like. And I want you to know that I think that we are embarrassingly is the only word I can think of, better than everybody else. Of course, all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, without a shadow of a doubt. The blessing comes, we don't know why. It's all from Him. He chose it to be this way. But it's an 8 out of 10. We're an 8 out of 10 group. We find incremental points to increase every year, right? But we're 8 out of 10. The next best that I would feel comfortable saying, yeah, you know what, inshallah, it'll be okay. At best, I would give a 3 out of 10. The gulf is embarrassing. One of the key reasons for that is when you have a business mindset versus a dawah mindset, it's not a fair comparison. And I accept that, I do. But then you've also got to accept that if I accept that that premise, then also accept that I think you're still a 3 out of 10. I've accepted that it's okay to be a 3 out of 10. Now you might think, Ras, yeah, that's a bit harsh. Well, yeah, it is, because as I said, my scale is a different scale. So I'll give you an example of my scale, right? On a scale of 0 to 10, you don't need to put this in the chat, but if you're with someone, your family structure, okay, then you can just say it out loud. Yeah, test one another amongst your friends and family, whoever's there watching. On a scale of 0 to 10, where do you think I would put, the scale of 0 to 10 of how good a dua is, of how good a accepted dua is, on a scale of 0 to 10, where would you think I would put that? Okay? Right, you said the number? So on a scale of 0 to 10, where would you think an accepted dua would go? I appreciate actually some of the numbers that are being shared in the chat because I can see it, right? I'm going to just see a few other folks if they put a number down. On a scale of 0 to 10, an accepted dua. Okay? 3 more seconds to put a few numbers down. And in my scale, the question there needs to be a return question. And that would be, do you mean a Muslim or a non-Muslim? And I would say, give me both. And then if he says to me non-Muslim, I would say 1 out of 10. And if he said Muslim, then I would say, well, how good is the accepted dua in the eyes of Allah, in the scale of Allah, or in my interpretation of the scale of Allah. Because even when I talk about the Hajj game, I mean, who is the best Hajj group in the eyes of Allah that I understand it by? 8 out of 10. If in the eyes of Allah, in my interpretation of, I think that a dua that's made by a non-Muslim, how good is it? Which is an accepted dua, is 1 out of 10. And the dua which is accepted, how good is it from a Muslim? 2 out of 10. And I'll leave that right there because that's going to become a very, very big mainstay of, in fact, it's going to be the big mainstay of the prep of our Hajj. All about recalibrating how we understand dua, how we understand what this Hajj journey is about. The Hajj is nothing but dua. Nothing but dua. And we are so woefully ignorant and uneducated about dua. It's insane. Okay? So now you understand that my scale is a different scale to all of you because all of you are in the 9s and 10s, right? I'll give you another example. On the scale of practicingness of a Muslim, where do you think on from 0 to 10 is someone who wears hijab full time and prays? Okay, go. Put your numbers in. Okay? Someone who, in my scale, in my interpretation, okay? Someone who wears a hijab and prays. Okay? On the scale of Islamic, whatever, practicingness, religiosity, if you like. On my scale, a person who's wearing hijab full time and is praying is a 3. That's a 3. Okay? And regardless of what answers you gave, because now you're sensitive to my scale, and so all of you marked it down, there's no doubt about it. But before we have this conversation, if you thought and you saw someone that is practicing, you obviously, all of you know, when a person prays, it can be hypocritical. When a girl wears hijab, what kind of hijab is it? One of those tight, body, foot, whatever. Or this girl wears hijab, and then as soon as she gets off the school bus, she takes it off. Whatever. You all know that hijab, girls wearing niqab, get up to, as you know. Yep. You guys are educated enough and experienced enough and mature enough to know that these things are kind of external stuff that you can get through. But you're still thinking a 6 or a 7, aren't you? It's a 3. It's a strong 3. And that will make you understand that the way you make your decisions, the way that you assess things, the way that you are actually interpreting information around you needs a whole load of mentoring and cultivating and correcting, and that is what's called tarbiyah. Okay? So back to the original point that a 3 out of 10 is actually more than sufficient. If a 1 out of 10 is an accepted dua, then a 3 out of 10 for an accepted Hajj is sufficient. But we're not happy with a 3 out of 10 accepted Hajj. We are here to give you something more, and there's got to be something more. There's got to be something more. And so the reason I said that is that it's okay for a person to say, well, I'm not interested in the 3 out of 10. I'm sold on this. I'm going to come back again next. Just talking about the scenario in phase 3, if you didn't get in. That's okay. But it's also good to go to Hajj and get it done, because you never know what's going to happen. And it's okay for you to accept the 3 out of 10. And you will realize, just like some people were very generous, in the nice words they were saying. It really is nice. All right. They were saying stuff like, I went with somebody else, or I know somebody went with somebody else. And they went and they looked at those guys and they said, you know what, you should go with those guys. That's actually quite funny. Or let's go and find their tent, go in their tent. It's funny and it's gratifying and we appreciate it. But we expect nothing less. We want to be an example. We want people to know. We want people to feel embarrassed when they're letting people down. Today I got phone calls, right? And messages, and the team did as well, saying, sorry, we're just reaching out in desperation. We've bought package a B762 and A23, whatever, but they're not available. Other companies, not even big companies, whatever, could you help us? Well, sure, what do you want, bro? What do you want? Because my commitment is not to A1400. My commitment is not to Al-Bayt. My commitment is to that Hajj, bro. My commitment is, and that is a very important part of the lesson of what we're trying to get to. So now that you understand all of that, as I said, hopefully it will put into context the kind of things I'm asking you, which is to be patient and to trust the process, right? Your priority is to get to Hajj. And if you can find an acceptable alternative that you're happy to stomach, then you're going to go with it. As it stands right now, though, you are, you're in the best place. Everything happened as I predicted. I actually said to you guys that roughly about half the places would be sold. And that is what we understand. Just over half of the places was sold. There's something between 150, 200. They've not received Nusuk numbers yet. They've not received any updates. We cannot establish any data patterns. We're not able to break things down just yet. So the next webinar, which is going to be on Thursday, is when we have all of our figures, all of our options, and that big discussion with Al-Bayt. Based upon the stats that they tell us, based upon this form, which is so important, that it's only filled in by serious folks. That's why it's so important, because I'm going to then consider taking it to Al-Bayt to see whether they're willing to make a financial investment. I haven't got money to invest. I'm not the business guy. They've already put $100 million, or is it pounds? I think it's dollars. $100 million. I want to say pounds, you know that? I think he said pounds. 100 million pounds in the Al-Bayt Hajj project. Bro, it's no joke. It's no joke, right? And when we come along and say, can you do this little, whatever, it's got to be put into the context that they're operating in 170 countries, making packages for everywhere, blah, blah, blah. So it's a bit of a challenge. But let's see, that form is important. But we don't have the data. We're still waiting for people to give us data on the phase 1 form, which is essential. The phase 2 form, in fairness, only been out for 4 or 5 hours. Not enough. We need about 10, 12 hours, 24 hours. But we need everyone to think. I want to say to you, just like I said to you before, that we make decisions based upon trusting you. But sometimes it's not even your fault. We can still trust you, but I'll give you an example. When we did the original poll, in order to be taken seriously to create our strategy, there was 600-700 people that were saying that they're serious. Right now, it's not even 500 people that are saying that they're serious. That's total, I mean. So you see how I keep telling you that people keep cutting off. People are there for different reasons. They say that they're committed, but they're not. Always use this example. Look at the 2,000 that freaked you out. I said, what are you freaking out for? Then you all at the 1,300 and chat, oh my God, how are we going to get? And I said, what are you freaking out for? Then Yani, when they went to the poll, whatever, it was 600-700 people. You also all freaking out. What are you freaking out for? Then you looked at the 5 flights, blah, 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 blah. What are you freaking out for? You know, I want to, listen, now you think I'm modest. Yeah, I'll now put that idea to bed. There was a brother in the chat. He made a statement, subhanAllah, very important. Yeah, I think many of you read it. He said that he made a calculated decision, right? And he went with another package. What was really interesting is his thought process, right? Because when I read that, I felt so sad. I thought to myself, you miskeen bichara. Yani, he goes that, you know, the reason, he gave his full reasoning. It was very straightforward. That's why I appreciate him, right? But it didn't make me feel any less sad for him. I said, so miskeen. I felt so sad for him, right? That he just didn't listen and he didn't trust the process. He's got to accept it. Man up and accept it. You didn't trust the process. You know what he said? He goes, I bottled it, essentially. He's not going to like that language, but I've got no problem saying it. And I don't blame him. Why would he trust me with the strategy, right? He goes, there was too many combinations. Yani the flight options. Too many combinations, which increases my risk. And so what I did is that I went for another one, which I knew had only one flight, straightforward, whatever. He didn't trust the process. He didn't trust me. He didn't trust my team, and he didn't trust you guys. And in fairness to him, I don't blame him. I told you, if this was a normal Hajji in a normal Hajj group, like imagine you guys just joined some random Hajj group right now. Would you trust those folks to tell you a strategy, blah, 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 blah? I told you guys, you are the biggest important ingredient here. When you got good, loyal people, they work together. And when you have a team as good as ours, they produce the results. And when you got a flipping, whatever that guy is, a whip master like me, that won't accept anything except perfection, we're going to go back and again, if it means no sleep for 2 days, that is what it will be. We created a strategy, and that strategy was to the level that we were individually calling people and telling them what to do. This was a strategy in which we chased airlines, people, XYZ to understand what we couldn't see through coding on a website. Studying sheets and documents and whatnot. No other program was able to deduce what we were able to do between 5 equal flights that had no visible indicator of a difference. Having to go back and try to understand how they were uploaded by Al-Bayt, then trying to understand how that data was then processed by Nusuk. And whether we could trust Nusuk to actually stick to his own principle. All of this is going back and forth, back and forth. I don't blame any person that will think, Yani, how would they have cracked it? But I put to you the following. We are in single digits. I think I only read 3 or 4 people that said that we made the choice and it said sold out. And guess what? Not a single person said that in the flights. Not a single person. We got 200, 300, 400, I don't know how many, 400 people in the first phase through in our program. Not a single person got blocked or had to make a second, often fatal. How many examples did you read that I was there within few? I got through my OTP in my last one, but I timed out. It timed out. That's how critical it is to not have the system to make you second choice, third choice. I know that some people had all the time in the world once they were in, but we don't know that. And we can't rely upon that. We've got to create a strategy that allows you to check out by. No crazy algorithms, not have to think about a double in and 2 doubles and 1 thing for my mom, or my wife wants a double and my mom and dad happy. No, just stick the same, get rid of the wheelchair, get rid of the other. He don't allow anything, he's bam, right? Most people checked out. The strategy, bismillah, mashallah, was amazing. That's the team. That's Naeem, that's Danish, that's the chief, that's this gang here, right? That's them thinking, planning this, that, whatever, whatnot. And where you did have to go back to the second and a third, right, was the exact places that we predicted it, in the rooming and in the triples. We said it was going to happen, and it did happen. Some of you were incredibly fortunate that you had the chance and the time still to take that quad or to take that double. So where it did happen was in the rooming, which we have very little control over, right? And we tried our best. And on the whole, we only had 3 or 4 people that needed to do a second. And here's the thing. Everybody that got in to book the package got their place. Think about that. Think about that. Not a single person. I just gave you 6, 7. I'm a perfectionist. I wanted it to be 100%. But 6, 7 people, they didn't get in at the first click. They had to change a configuration, change their room. But all of those got their rooms. As far as I know, Allah knows best. As far as I know, I've not heard someone. All the people that have been saying that they didn't get in because of OTP or the system or the crash, or they got timed out right at the very thing end. Put some spec on these people's names. We said trust the process. We can get it wrong, bro. We can get it wrong. And there could be painful conversations to be had upcoming. We're not going to sit on our laurels. But his brother, he did not trust the process. And that's okay. But let's be accurate. He also said something very important. He then said that, he said, yeah, once I saw everyone struggling to get in hindsight, that would have given me a better chance with my first choice Hajj with AE program, and I should have stuck to the plan and bought AE. Look at the reasoning that he said. With hindsight, when I saw everyone struggling, and then I could have, bro, I told you, those people struggling are your group. They're your group. You thinking that the struggle to keep your group out is advantageous for you would have been the very first thing that I would have been focusing on, and the very last thing that I would be assessing my impact upon you, whether my tarbiyah worked. Okay? You didn't think that my strategy was not planning chaos. You think that my strategy was not predicting that what was going to happen, that everybody was going to struggle. The whole part of it, the whole strategy was based upon a complete shutdown, everybody trying their best. Some get through, some not get through. It is down to Allah what happens on the day. You know, the great thing about going through these processes is that you leave the theory and you see in practice how Allah works. How amazing. One person goes off to do salah, the other one's screaming ahead of the guy in salah thinking, what the hell's going on? The girl's really losing her mind. Fine, it's from Allah, man. You know, you leave it, you give up, you've had enough, and you're suddenly in. Man goes, what the fish? Bye. Guy comes back, he goes, that's why you should pray, man. Man, I had the funniest experience with Kulsum, okay? Kulsum, she won't let me online, man. So I was Kulsum's helper. Massive mistake, by the way, because I'm the worst. My stupid computer didn't let me in bloody hours. But she was the most rubbish on her OTP checking the email, right? Goodness me, we were the worst combination ever. It was dumb and dumber, I swear to God. I'm waiting there, I go, are you refreshing? She goes, yeah. I go, are you sure? I go, bloody refresh your inbox. I go, here it is. I go, when did this come? She goes, it came right now. I go, no, it didn't. She goes, no, it came when I refreshed. I go, of course it came when you refreshed. I go, when was it sent? 2 minutes ago. I said, we just now missed it. Then we're sitting there waiting. Then I come back to her. I said, right, listen, man, Maghrib's in. We've got to make a plan. This is the last chance, whatever. Oh, I prayed Maghrib. I said, what? Who gave you permission to leave your computer and pray Maghrib when I'm sitting like a kebab in front of you, not praying my Maghrib, trying to get your behind? Dad's got the swear jar there. And she goes, you got to pray, mate. I said, who the fish told you that you're not going to go and pray? But we can delay the prayer for this moment. The plan was we're going to do one more submission and then we're going to let it reset over 20 minutes so that we can start again. We're going to pray. I said, Arif, wallahi, come over, but I've got to go and deal with this crowd. Then I went in and obviously there was chaos. Bro, Nusuk is an adventure. It's a buzz. It's laugh, it's tears. It's lessons, though. It's lessons, right? It's a lot of things. but all of it was predicted. I don't want to go again and blow my trumpet, but let me, just in case y'all forgot, I gave you a detailed system on how to get through the OTP. Remember, I don't know how many people saw the emergency webinar that we did before we went live, but I made it clear. Write it down. Write down the time that you think OTP won, whatever. Then write down the time. Keep matching it, because you're going to block your system. You're going to lock out, right? I told you that before. I told you 3 webinars before. I said, actually, your real problem is going to be the OTP. You're going to, nobody, I've been thinking, planning, working on the OTP system. We don't have a solution for it. You know, this idea of turn right click, this, that, click, and open up new windows, whatever. It's not actually a method. The way that people got through was entirely random. As many positive stories as you heard, that's how I got my package. That's how I got my package. It wasn't, unfortunately. Do you understand? Well, obviously you don't understand. There's 2 different systems in the timing. Ask any developer, ask any person who codes. There is one which is on the browser itself. And all you've done by opening and extending and minimizing, there's all different theories. If you minimize the window, then it slows down the clock. Then you can go and do other things, give artificially more time for the... It's so funny that you lot are saying all of this. No point did I ever post these things, because we had the fundamental knowledge how it works. They said, you can now wait. That gives you more time for the OTP to come through. Now maximize the window. So not just switch to a different thing, but minimize the window, they said. Because it's true, if you do minimize the window and you go back, you realize, and it's still there at 4:45, 4:43, 4:42. It delays it. And they said, by that time, whatever. Bro, I'll come to that in a second. They said, open up the right click and it will work, whatever. Bro, the timer that you're seeing in front of you is just on your browser. There's a second timer, which is where the server is. The simple reason that all of those OTPs were delayed is that there's 20,000 requests for an OTP to be received on the server end, and it then send an email out individually. And these type hackers didn't upgrade their server. And so therefore it was this miskin data center somewhere that was not able to send these emails out quick enough. One, send an email out, one, send an email out, send an email out. And exactly what I said was that at the beginning moment, the first few thousand are going to get straight in, like boom, OTP is going to come immediately, whatever, because it's the first few thousand server, which is built for. And then everyone else was going to be. Did I not say there'd be a queuing system? They're all blagging that everyone will get in. That screen was a pure queuing system. Did I not say that to have multiple devices has a function? I said that it's not going to be about people logging in for you and helping you, whatever, whatnot. But multiple devices allows you to have different browsers there. And one of these browsers is going to reach login page quickly. Did we not say that? Did we not get it right? Some were getting quicker, some were not. So I just want to say that amongst all of this, we generally got it right. And we all through this said, the country quota is your enemy. Our messaging was consistent, based upon knowledge, based upon experience, and what have we so far got wrong? So that doesn't mean that we're going forward now, or that we're going to get everything right, that we're not going to make any mistakes, that we're going to, be able to get everybody over the line. But I want to say that the next few days, I know that Isa and Cam and the gang, they're all, looking to create, master kind of tips. And I think that's good. But I absolutely am going to put a very critical eye over it. A lot of it is just hearsay. A lot of it is nonsense. There was people that are, saying we're specialists, blah, 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 saying that we should take a subscription in a Saudi-based server that does emails because that's the same company that they're doing it. Yeah? There are other people that were saying you should use a VPN so that you can hide the fact that you're from America or from the UK because it's pushing you back intentionally, speed-wise, politically-wise. And some of the stuff was hilarious, bro. Hilarious, right? So obviously it's desperate. It's all people trying saying anything. That's okay. It's panic. Bro, even, I don't want to say the best of us, even the worst of us, when these kebabs and it's like, bro, how clear was it that the chief goes on, gives everybody clear 24 hours and said, get your details ready in a message. This is the template. Then he said that what you do is that you direct message the person And that's it. Your details. As soon as they say, I'm here to tell. What they're doing? Placing them on a group. Everyone's just placing them. What's up, guys, I was calm. Bloody hell. Everyone's here. I said, bro, nobody's going to just look at your thing and say, right, let me just sign in for you. You got to. It's chaos. Lost my mind, bro. I lost my mind. Anyway. Alhamdulillah ala kulli hal. I want to say congratulations to all the folks that made it through and can relax a little bit, but not relax as you heard my video. We're still in, full in. And for those folks that haven't, then we're waiting. Many of you are going to make it without any issues. The rest we need to then consider based upon the data that we collect. This form that we sent out, everything's on the table. Somehow getting another program and asking them to give us an extra quota, somehow getting another building, somehow not being able to get anything whatsoever and telling you folks that, okay, you're just going to have to, join this program. And, we tried our best. I've got no shame in fronting up, standing in front of you, apologizing and saying, some of you next year, hey, see you Aqsa at the end of June, right? I mean, I've got the Hajj at the beginning of June. Hands up, I tell you that the Aqsa at the end of it is going to be the highlight of my year. I've been dead for the last 2 years. Dead. Heart dead, everything dead, mind dead. The level of importance of Aqsa to me is, you will never, ever, 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 ever know. You will never, ever realize. So getting over till it's over, there's Hajj to come, there's experiences to come, there's study to come, right? But we're going to try our best. Let's go through some bullet points, which we'll release a little bit later. There's a few things that you want to hear. Phase 2 is not for any of us, so you don't need to worry about that. Okay, what is phase 2? Just in case you don't know because you missed the 27 live streams that we've been doing. Phase 2 is for those other countries that are not US, UK, whatever. What did we say, by the way? There are people that are wanting to do the Paki way, right? Say that we want to go on your package, but we want to get a custom flight because it's cheaper. I've been saying, bro, you have this idea in your head that you buying the flight yourself is cheaper. You're not buying it yourself. It is them selling it to you. It's their version of Skyscanner. They rip you apart, bro. Not only do they rip you apart, they've got a warning that comes up onto the screen saying, by the way, you can save your configuration, but the custom flight prices may vary. You know what that means? When you book it, it says 6,000 riyals. When you came to buy it, it says 16,000 riyals. It's a supply-demand situation. And can you imagine what you're going to do in the heat of the moment, buying in the phase 2, this idea that I'm going to buy my own flight, got that package, I'm going to buy my own flight, and all that madness that you saw yesterday, and you got to click, and then it comes on the screen, and it's instead of 9,000, it says 19,000. You're like, click yes and cry your flipping eyes out. The guide prices, the group flights, beg your pardon, are always better. Yeah, custom flights help a person who only wants to come from Dubai, ready to want it to burn. I'm just saying, phase 2 was not what it was all made out to be. But more importantly, I said to you, none of you are going to be involved in phase 2 because your country quota is going to be gone. The only people that are going to be in phase 2 are those countries that have got quota left. Germany right now, thousands of visas left. I told you the reason for that. They all chip off to Turkey. They do it on the Turkish, on the old Turkish ethnicity vibe, right? And so the actual German passport allocation remains as it is. Phase 1 doesn't sell out. They enter into phase 2. They can go and buy whatever they want using their German passport. What are you going to do? UK, US, Canada, Australia, they're no package, no global, nothing. Can't do a thing. All right. That's going to be on Friday, whenever it is. Thursday, whatever. Phase 3. Yes, we did. Yes.
Sorry, I hit that by accident.
Phase 3 is Wednesday, 19th of February, inshallah. My guess is it's going to be an evening slot. Okay, Mystic Meg. UK evening, but we'll see. Okay. It's going to be Wednesday. It's going to be evening, 19th of February. Phase 3 is going to be the continuation of phase 2, which is where the public global packages will continue selling to everybody. And now the UK and US and whatever, they'll have a nice uplift of visas. It'll be like Oprah Winfrey, you can have visas and you can have a visa and you can have visas and you can have visas and you can all have visas. All right. And I reckon another 5, 7, 10, 15,000 visas will be chucked out, reallocated, a few extra gifts on top, and then there will be a surge. But the surge there is a far more calmer one, controlled one, lesser people, and more drawn out. They draw it out on purpose. They then introduce sometimes maybe a phase 4, probably won't be, okay? Phase 3 will be enough. I have a feeling that they're quite comfortable. Remember, by the way, whatever we say, Nusuk was better this year. Nusuk did not completely crash. Just the OTP system was rubbish, that was all. But it's always been rubbish. The difference in the last couple of years is that the OTP system is rubbish, and then you get in and then you can't do anything. The truth is, most of you experienced that when you got in, pretty smooth. Yeah, it might be waiting a long time for the confirmation, but smooth. So I think this year, it's going to be pretty smooth as well. So what will happen on that 19th of February, 20th of Sha'ban, is that our program will go live again. A couple of days before, at some point, I am hoping that you have the opportunity to go back in and edit, configure, reconfigure. I'm pretty positive that allows that the system will allow you to happen. You've obviously seen right now that if you go into Nusuk, you can't do anything. It's all locked. It'll only open up in phase 2. In fact, that's correct. In phase 2, you'll be able to go on. You will be able to do all the editing and everything that you want to your configurations. You just will not be able to buy anything. It will say country quota exceeded. You try to do anything, country quota exceeded, because it knows your passport nationality, you see, right? Whatever you're trying to buy. So that's going to be the time where by the time that comes out, we're going to have all of our, data analysis done. Okay, we've got space here, we've got a space there, we've got a space there. If we're going with the space approach. Or, okay, we've got a program idea, we're going to do an extension program, we're going to do something. I'll speak more about that on Thursday. It's just ignorance and just hot air at the moment. I just need to think and understand and research and argue and debate. And I need people to flip and fill in their forms. Yeah? If you just joined the whole thing right now, if you are 100% serious about wanting only to go with us, and you're ready to swear by Allah by it, so that you don't turn around and say no. So I can actually put figures in front of them and say, here you are. These are people. There's no such thing as a deposit. Otherwise, I would have said, go and pay a deposit. You are like as if you're paying a deposit, but your deposit is with Allah's word. Yeah? Then fill it in so I know what I've got. Then I can make an argument with them, blah, 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 blah. Having said that, you'll have the opportunity then to go off our advice, get whatever, get ready. And then by that time, we'll have collected more hints, tips, this, that, etc. Then we go live. What will happen when you go live? The following, 19th of February. By the way, anyone who's joining new, verifications, you can tell your friends, family, whatever, verifications will continue all the way past phase 3 as well. Because phase 3 will not go immediately, it will continue. So anyone who's new, not done anything, lightning fast, same day, next day jobs. Yeah, immediately and verifications. E-wallets. You can even top up your e-wallet right now. You just can't access your program, but your dashboard and top up your e-wallets and mess around with those, absolutely, no problem. So we release a strategy over we determine a plan using data, make an announcement on Thursday, carry on collecting data, create strategy, and then before Wednesday, then you'll have the plan of, are you doing this, are you doing this, are you doing this? Oh, I'm sorry, we've actually got the numbers and Manchester sold out. Or the UK is sold out. I'm sorry. And you know what? That would be highly, highly shocking and unexpected. But if that happens, then I'll put my hand up and I'll try my best. Ultimately, I know that people will be upset, sad, whatever, whatnot. But at least I can face Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say, I tried my best. And I know my team tried their best. There's nothing else that we talk about and argue about other than how on earth are we going to deal with these extra people that want to go. It's our number one priority. Don't think we're not taking it more serious than anything in our lives at the moment. Simple as that. It's taken number one, dominated all of our lives, as it has in the last 5-6 weeks, as it has for the last 5-6 months in the planning. I think that you kind of worked it out that we do think ahead, plan ahead. We take this very, very, very seriously. I think you get that. Don't need to speak about that. So that's a timeline. If there's any information, obviously we do the Q&A now. Then other timeline is, the other thing is refunds. Now, first of all, there's two types of people. There's one which is those people who have already got their package, okay? Everybody who has got their package done, dusted, and confirmed, not some dodgy this, that, but the e-wallet, you should also sign into Nusuk, look at your dashboard. If the money's gone from your dashboard, then you're done. Go and start your refunds now, okay? Start your refunds now. Why the fish are we giving those? I can't say anything now because then it'll break the stream again. 20 quid, 30 quid, 40 quid. It's still 20, 30, 40 quid. It's still flipping a couple of burgers in it and a bit of ice cream. Yeah, you know what I mean? So let's start the refunds, but only those who have got a package. Those who are waiting, don't touch your wallet at all. Don't touch your wallet at all. Okay? And those who are like so disappointed, lost, then don't be a waste man. Okay? Man up and just say, Alhamdulillah, is what it is. Money's staying there, more committed than ever before. X, Y, Z, and depending upon our strategy, especially if you might need to go for a plan B, I might be saying put some more money in. Might even be saying get ready for a refund. You're going to go to a cheaper package. Okay. One thing I regret, actually, and Danish, you should remember this for next time. Put it in the notes that as an option in the form, we should say, are you going to be happy? Everyone's going to be happy to pay less, right? But we should ask the question: how less are you happy to pay and go? And also, how happy and more willing money are you willing to pay? That would be useful, It would help, especially if we can't, ourselves put them in our program, then we can kind of, bespoke put them in one that would work for them. But anyway, so that's that. So refunds, guys, only the people who are successful get full refunds. Don't need to leave any pennies in there. There is nothing coming. Yep, I know you're asking, do I need to pay for Qurban? You're going to pay for that cash over there. Your cash, and I'll tell you what rates and rate of thingy that will be in Hajj though. You don't need vaccinations. There is no surprises. There's nothing. Get your money out of there, man. What the hell? Right. What other points was I going to say? We're here. Blah, 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 blah. Chief? No, I don't think so.
Assalamu
alaikum. Anything?
That brother's question that we had to
ask. Oh, yeah. Right. So, those folks we have the Botswanans and we have some Europeans and the like. Now, in my opinion, I do think that there could be a little bit of possible. All right? But it's going to require some risky moves from yourself. When I say risky moves, for you guys, the action starts in the next round on Thursday or whatever it is. Yeah? So if it starts with you, what's amazing? There are people like Yamin who are messaging me right now instead of being in this call. We're going to make sure that we call him out, right? Embarrass his. And so, Yamin Malu, your best is going to be done fully. Okay, bro? All right. There's going to be some opportunities, but it's going to need you to wait. And you might say, if I wait, then I'm going to miss my opportunity. And the answer is absolutely correct. If you are thinking that in phase 2, the one that's going to open up, you're going to miss the chance, you are. But I think that you've got nothing to lose, frankly, because that phase 2, every global package is going to remain open all the way to phase 3. Because there's a reason why nobody looks and goes for the phase 2 packages, because they're not great. They're basic stuff. They're basic stuff. There's no leader. There's no guide. It's basically for the people who have done Hajj before, want to do it on the cheap. Yeah, and they want to get the basic, dirt cheap package, willing to take some kind of budget flight from somewhere and do it alone. Just do it alone. Walk it, this, that, whatever. That's the kind of person it's for. So there's nothing much to lose. What will happen in phase 3 is that you then will have a combination of all of the group flight packages, the custom ones like ours, come online. And you now will have an ability to join in as well. How? Get ready for this, guys. Get ready for this. In phase 3, you actually have the choice. And this is for all of us lot I'm talking about, not just the Europeans, Netherlands, Botswana. But this is why I think it's important to speak about this. And that's why we need another week, at least to get strategy ready for this, because this is complicated. In phase 3, all of our normal packages are there with all of their normal group flights, plus the button that we had about a week ago in its earlier edition, where it comes with a custom flight, the Musafir GDS system, meaning you have the option to choose your own flight. Got me? Now, that's either going to work for you or against you. If you see and get the vibe that this is going to be a slow, long, drawn-out process, then you're buzzing. You're buzzing because you could theoretically spend all the time in the world, because, to use that, it takes time. Put your date in, put the seat in. You can't save these things. Every time you go to checkout, you have to reconfigure. That's obviously delaying the checkout. And if you're under time pressure, then, it's going to be, you get what I'm saying? Right? So, it's a risky move if there is time pressure. But what if there is no time pressure? What if everyone's chilling? You can then spend all the time in the world. And obviously part of my strategy is going to be telling you to practice on Musafir outside of Nusuk, so that when you are in Nusuk in the moment, then you're going to know how to, program it quickly. So will that affect us? No, because the majority of us are going to take those group flights, and I will be pushing you towards those group flights because that's part of our strategy. But that's when our Netherlands folks, our Swedish folks, anyone that's waiting, that seems like a possibility to come in. All I'm saying is the following. Anybody right now that is interested in coming with a group of people or friends or family, whatever, they have to fill in this form as well. It's clear. It says, are you from UK, US, or other country? Other, and put your country. It's the only open text box. So put that country and put in brackets 20 people, or 25 people, blah, 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 whatever it is. Put it in that form. It's for everybody to use, and let's then build some data. So the answer to your question, bro, is that you've got to fill in the form, and you just have to be patient until Al-Bayt give me a solution. As it stands, there's nothing. Do I think that something could change? Yes, I do. But I have to take a risk. And what's the worst that will happen? We'll turn around and say, right, we've been told it's not possible to take anybody from another country. At that time, you probably would have an opportunity, especially if you're in some of these countries that people don't go from much, and the quota is going to be there. Botswana, a little bit different. They've got very, very small quota, but I'm going to be discussing with them separately. All right. With that, if you think that I've covered everything and I didn't lose my mind entirely, then I'm more than happy for you to start taking questions, or what, or who.
Okay, if people can just raise their hands again because they've disappeared. I know a few people raised their hands earlier. So let's start with Abu Zubaydah. And then Isa, please unmute yourself. Abu Zubaydah. If not Abu Zubaydah, then Isa, please unmute yourself.
Assalamualaikum, Sheikh. Pray you're well.
I'm right, man.
So I've got a very interesting scenario. It sounds really complex because I need to explain it to you, but there's 5 of us going, okay, in 2 different groups. So one is my khala and her husband, and the next one is my mom and dad and me. So alhamdulillah, they booked and they got their double room on the first phase, okay? And we tried to get a triple room and we couldn't get it. But then, so we were thinking, what do we do? Should we wait? Do we try and get a triple room? So I came up with an idea, and obviously my mom wants to stay with her sister, and they discussed it, and they said that, we said, my mom can just go and stay with her sister, and my uncle, who's got the double room, can come and stay with me and my dad, and we can just get a quad room. But I wanted to ask you, because my mom is a female, and the person coming from the double room is a male, are you guys able to reallocate them?
Yes. So, yes, with the same answer that we've been saying to everybody from the beginning when it comes to the question, when we've bought a bed in a room. So if we are 4, have bought 4 quads in a room, will we all be together? What have we been saying? We've been saying 99% inshallah, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, and you've understood the reason why we say that, right?
Yeah, 100% Nusuk.
Because they don't sell a room, they sell individual beds, right? Now, our team is very good. Basically, our team approaches Nusuk Prap Yani team, right? And we do to that Nusuk Yani rooming thing what we've done to the whole process so far. So we have a very high percentage of getting it right. But I'll tell you all right now, I'm going to speak straight into the camera and tell you all. That strategy of getting 99% is absolutely dependent on one or two family members taking the hit for the rest of the entire group. It's as simple as that. And the process will be a random one. There will be we do it literally randomly. And then a call will be put from our rooming team, and it will be Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. I'm just saying that this is that call. You wanted to be in your triple, we can't give you the triple. And you wanted to be in a triple together, you can't be. You're going to have to do a swap around, because otherwise the situation is a haram. It's not because of preferences, it's because of harams. Because remember, Nusuk sells beds. It doesn't care whether you're male or female, because that's your problem, right? They sell beds. And so in the end, we've got just like, the only thing that we see, the rooming team see, is 240 females and 300 men. That's all. And what we've got to do is to make them fit into 540 spaces that are divided into rooms. It's the most extraordinary process. Manual process, by the way. Bit of AI, but manual. And the computer can't do it. And it fails every time. And the manuals get it then to that 99%, and the phone call's got to go out. And some people are going to have to be a hero. I just want to say that one of the people that are going Hajj with us this year, right? I'm going to shout her out. Shoma, okay? From the States. She and her family were one of those people. 2023. They came. It was all dependent. I wanted to imagine to be that family and the pressure upon that being that family. Everyone was like, I don't care. No, let somebody else do it. Why do you choose us for? Why do we got to take the hit for? And I think it was elderly. One male, two females, yeah, and the dad, old Bengali uncle. We stuck him in the gang, bro. Guy loved it, but they were so, they said, we'll do it, man. We'll do it for the team. We'll do it. Every single person got their room as a result of that. That's the difference, right? Someone along the line is going to take a hit for the team. And we will be moving people around, like this request here. So, and there will be other requests. So, for example, we know that there are friends that have joined, and you're going to say, can you please put us with? And so we'll have a form, and we'll look at preferences. We'll look at medicines. Our rooming form is the world's most biggest detailed form you've ever seen in your life. You got to upload photos and documents and pictures and this and that. We don't do things by halves. But as a result of it, we virtually get everybody their room. And so, Isa, back to your point, just to go off on that tangent, the group always steps up. By the way, Isa, that group could be yours. It could be your group that has to do the splitting in a way that you weren't expecting it. But that's the example. As a result of that, people will get that. And we will be looking at the most interest that we can take. Does that make sense? Isa, answer your question?
Yeah, that makes sense. Jazakallah khair. So just to clarify with you now, the game plan, should I try, in case it becomes available, should I try and go for a triple room if there is one, or should I just go for quad?
Let me tell you something. We know very little information, okay? We know very little information right now in terms of stats, other than two. We sold half of our entire allocation, and all of the triples are gone. These are the two certain statistics that we can give. Now we start going to get data coming in, factual data coming in. And remember what I told you before, guys? Always have three sources of information. We've already done this before, right? It's like, this is a broken record. But it helps, right? We said Nusuk, Al-Bayt, and you. And what did I tell you? All three wastemen. All three wastemen, especially you lot. The most flawed of the lot. Absolute wastemen. I'm telling you. The flipping bakwas, you lot, right? Filling in the form second time, increasing the numbers, choosing the wrong thingy. We said just put how many quad beds? They put 3 in doubles, 3 in triples, 3. But Allah Qasam, Lord Almighty, Allahu Akbar. What is going on? Human beings Muslims, Islamic Muslims. But then Nusuk is rubbish as well. And Al-Bayt make mistakes as well. So lots of correcting and filtering and all that behavior to do. But inshallah, when we get through it, we'll let you know the thingy. But what do we do know for certain? All triples are gone, which we predicted from the beginning. And 50% of the quota is gone, but we don't know exactly. We've got a good idea, but not exactly. So anyway, we're coming. All right, Abu Zubaydah, unmute yourself, bro. Try again. Salam, bro. How you doing?
Alhamdulillah. My question is, for the folks that were able to get in yesterday, do we still have to join your subsequent webinars, or in case of any update, or you will have a dedicated...
Bro, personally, I prefer it unless I make it super clear, and I will, that this one is only for the people who are entering phase 2. And so if I don't say that, then I do want you to be there. But I will try my very best to be specific moving forward.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
All right, bro. Barakallahu feek.
Please unmute yourself, Nihal.
Assalamu alaikum. I think my question might have been answered since I raised my hand, but I was just going to get clarity on withdrawing the remaining funds if I've been successful, which I have been successful in getting package fund there. So I've got some money left in my account. Would you advise to withdraw it now or
100%, bro? And make sure you give me a burger next time you see me. With my percentage, my cut from 2.65%.
Okay, inshallah. Sure.
All right. Thanks.
Please unmute yourself, Faisal.
Alaikum, Sheikh. I think I got the answer already. I was trying to make this work, but for some reason it wasn't working. I'll still ask the question. It's around the fact that if I've already secured the package, is it okay for me to buy my separate flights? Because I do plan on burning the original ones.
Great question. So this actually allows me to answer, Faisal, the question of the 23rd of May that people are worried about. Guys, I want to just make it clear. Everyone in the UK doesn't need to take the 23rd off. Just be nice to. We're pretty confident that they're going to stick to the 24th. Okay? And if they don't, then we're just going to have to, everyone's just going to have to take a day off. But we can't be guessing. We've got confirmed flights. It's an embarrassment. We raised heaven and earth to get those confirmed flights. So why would we now be doubting ourselves so much? So you heard it from me, right? That you're good to UK folks only, not the Americans. Okay, Americans hold fire. Domestic flights, there's a level of stress that I'm not ready to commit to yet. Let these phases run out then. So when you ask your question, Faisal, can I go ahead and buy the flight? I can't see any reason to say no, because your buying of your flight is not connected to anything other than just getting into the kingdom and out of the kingdom. You can buy your flight, bro, but I want you to make sure that you show it to the chief before you buy it. So you take the screenshot of what you want and you send it to him, because he's going to then vet. He'll be the first man on ground, right? And he'll be running the show there on his Jack Jones, although Arif might be with him. And, we can't have you coming too early. Very important. We want to try and have you arrive with the rest of the group so that you can jump in, without having to spend money and buy taxis and you get, flipping ragged, and you buy those, suitcases, this, that. So if we blags you onto one of the buses, the group buses, and especially if one of we need a proper mature, one of our gangster kind of group leaders. So if Abid Sami's there and Tanweer, then they're going to be able to get you onto one of the buses, your family, even though you're not meant to be on that bus. So moves can be made. You see, people who are buying tickets and burning tickets, we need to be individually looking after them so that they don't end up spending too much money. So study your flight, work out the thingy.
Faisal owns Qatar Airways, man. What does he need to worry about?
No, he's in Dubai, bro.
No, I'm in Doha, but no, I don't own. Chief, I don't own Qatar Airways. You know that already.
You do.
I'm
first class with him.
But there's good flights, I think, from Doha, good rates that the chief was saying. So anyway, point is, I think you're good. Chief, and that's it. Yeah, Chief?
I'm not joking, you know, my guy runs Qatar Airways, man.
No doubt about it,
Talking
bro. No doubt about
what's
it.
he worried about? We're going first class. He's 1A and 1B.
Sick. Of course you can, man.
Inshallah.
All right, bro.
Jazakallah khair.
Yeah. I saw
Is
Ali.
it- Oh, go ahead, Ali, and then Uzma, please. Ali Siddiqui, please unmute yourself if you had a question. If not Ali, then Uzma. Go ahead, Uzma, unmute yourself. Okay. Guys, please keep raising your hands because I don't know why Telegram doesn't show. Okay, let's go with Ali Muhammad, please, and then Uthman. Ali Muhammad, please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Sheikh, I got a good question for you. So, for us, we can buy in phase 2, right?
Yes.
And if phase 2 falls on a Friday and it opens at 1 o'clock. Sorry?
Is the time and date confirmed?
Yes, Friday, and it's 1 p.m. for us in our time zone. 1 p.m. is the time of Jummah khutbah.
It's about time. It's about time that your khatib follows the sunnah, isn't it? And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Min fiqh al-rajul," from the deep understanding of the deen of a person, is he yukhaffif al-khutbah, that he reduces the length of the khutbah, wa yutir al-salah, and that he elongates the prayer. Aw kama qala sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is not going to help you either way, but 1 o'clock, huh? And there's obviously only like X mosques there anyway, so you can't go and find a cheeky earlier one either, can you?
No, there's no chance of that.
What about helpers like at home? You have any women folk?
We do, but I don't think we trust them enough to help us with it.
You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised. The sisters are usually on the ball.
I
think you're gonna have to train them, Chief.
Yeah, we just have to do a training session. I mean, listen, I'll say two things, Ali. I'll say, first of all, I think that I do think that you can have the ladies trained up. I also, what time is 1 o'clock our time, Ali?
11 o'clock your time.
So then, okay, we'll have some people here as well. We'll just jump into the thingy, and we'll have a team here that will help you out, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah, Arif will. Arif, yeah. Arif will be able to. And, probably some of us. Yeah, Chief, Chief will be here. So you'll do the same thing. Have the details ready of all the people, right? Inshallah. And whatever. But Ali, there's a bigger question. That's only because if you're looking for some kind of bespoke move from us, right?
Yes, inshallah.
And I don't know whether that would come out in whether that solution could be made quick enough, because the solution for you would also be the solution for the rest of the gang as well. And I don't know whether that would be ready in time for Friday, and that means it would need to be done on the Wednesday. So I'm just putting that out there as well. So it might not
just to give you some more information. So this thing that I was telling you about, the France packages.
Yeah.
They managed to get them out within a day. So yesterday they went there, today they were all up.
No, that's not the issue. The reason that they're able to get the France packages out is because they never had there was no waiting to see for numbers.
Oh, okay.
Whereas ours is an existing program, right?
I understand.
Yeah, they've got to do all of the analysis, and they've got to wait for Nusuk to give them the numbers and then work out, what are we doing here and there and all the rest of it. So I have a feeling that it wouldn't be ready for Friday anyway. Now, the real question that I have for you, which now saves me the call, actually, so I'll take to you now, is 25 is your actual quota anyway.
Yeah.
How confident are you that you have the entire quota?
I'm very confident.
So you're saying that there's going to be no competition for the quota?
No, there is competition. There is, but I'm sure that I can get 25 people for the program, inshallah.
No, you didn't understand my question. Have you got the entire quota of the country, or is there other?
Yeah. So there's only 25 that we can get for the entire country.
Correct, and you have that 25.
So we have 25, but we do know of others that want to go as well. So there will be competition for spots.
Right. So that is a problem then. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to leave this with me.
They're all gonna be at gym anyway, bro. We'll go.
Yeah. We'll work it out. Ali will work it out, inshallah. Just
Inshallah.
Keep in touch like you have been, okay, bro?
I will, inshallah.
All right, barakallah.
Go ahead,
Ali, you want to try again, bro?
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, I think it's better.
That's better, yeah.
So, got a few questions. So, my wife and I were one of the ones who didn't manage to make it through on phase 1. And basically what happened was we were both there with our laptops. I had my browser, she had her browser. I managed to get through first from the queue. And then we just tried the whole OTP bugwas, and the emails came through, and we tried to time it, all of that stuff. And then wasn't working because it would constantly be after 5 minutes time. Then eventually we actually did get an OTP code within I think it was 300 seconds that it needed to be to work. And so for a split second, it looked like we were going through. And then we get a message saying, there's an error and, it's not able to do it. And then I think that was basically the equivalent of kicking us out. Is that, obviously, I know we can't predict anything. And I know phase 3 is meant to be easier. But it's like, does that fall into any kind of thing with which you're familiar, on which you have any?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think it comes out of my statement that you must expect completely everything and the unexpected with Nusuk. A lot of what we do, and the theory and the strategy is based upon your feedback. When we see, we go, we test, we go to people that know X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. And so all of this happens and will happen more, and some crazy other things will happen. As I said, the good thing is that there's two things. There's two things here. The good thing is that phase 3 or the latter phases, even phase 4 last year, if it gets to that, is a lot more calmer. There's a lot less people. Those people who are not ideologically set, those people like our group who are ideologically, conceptually set, not because of dunya reasons, because you see, people find it difficult to get over dunya reasons. Yeah. And so once they found that was horrible, and I'm out. Or there's no double beds left, I'm out. So they leave. And that creates space. That creates, less people going for it. That's what we found fully in 2024. If you look at how many people want to do the refund of their entire package, whatever, they're out. That's where we're done. Those who are conceptually, ideologically invested, like folks in our groups, they're like, you must be joking, man. We're absolutely here. The rest of the group are here. Everyone's egging you on. But then I remind you, your secret weapon. The secret weapon is our team and their analysis. Guys, subhanAllah, I'm amazed, man, and I want to shout out those folks who recognized it. That with 5 flipping flights, right, that people were told which ones to go to and nobody got rejected. That's crazy, man. That they all got in the flights, whatever, and we're going to do the same thing again. We know, we cracked the code. So those flights are going to be there. We will, inshallah, when the data comes through, we'll know exactly. And that's why these forms come out. And that's why it's got your number. And we're going to write it down. And when we see that London flight's got 6 places, bro, the team are going to call those 6 people. Bro, we've been calling for fun, man. MashaAllah. Jiva's got her gym jams on. She's going to be calling from bed. And the chief with his blanket, his kid's blanket. And me, I've got no flipping office. And this place is too bloody freezing cold today. A customer couldn't do it. I had to put a thing on. I'll be in my bedroom. No bloody office. Nothing. We'll call each individual person and we'll say, you are going on that flight. You are going on that flight to maximize the one click. So we can't cover for like what you said, this error, this situation. But I can tell you that you'll be in the very best. Isa's document will come out. Cam's document will come out. Cross-check against themselves. When I get time, I'll look at it as well. You'll have all of the options. Bro, don't stress about this, bro. Trust me.
Okay.
Sure.
Sorry, I've got a couple of others. But speaking of flights, then I know you mentioned that for phase 3, there's a chance that you might have to choose a custom flight. So does that work?
Sorry. Not a chance that you must choose a custom flight. There'd be option to choose.
Okay. And would that just entail like basically selecting your own flight from whatever dates and from wherever you want to go from? All that?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that like obviously for
recommended thing? No, because theoretically nobody was meant to be in that stage anyway. This is the first time that they've done that, where they've combined both, by the way, just so that you're aware. So we were never planning for that. Do we like those flights? No, because like Faisal's going to do it, it's going to be a pain in the backside for all of us. We have to now bespoke, go pick him up, look after him, blah, blah, blah. Okay, right? And so we don't want to be doing that. We don't want to be doing that. So
what's the timing that you're going to spend?
You got the more, and especially as you're concerned so much, you of all people, shouldn't be considering that, because the actual time that you will spend on customizing that flight, bro, other people, 1,000 people have got in by that time.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, recommended. Carry on.
Okay. Yeah. And then the last thing was slightly tongue-in-cheek, but what did you mean by you've been dead for the past 2 years? And will that be the case on Hajj as well?
I don't know, man. What are you asking difficult questions for?
It's a difficult statement to hear.
I'm not dead now, bro, because I am going to Aqsa. I'm so happy. We're looking at June 22nd as a confirmed flight. Not had time. Website people, left, right, center, contacting my team with Dar es Salaam and saying what's happening, blah, blah, blah. No time to be able to actually commit. Now you've got to apply for a visa as well. Whatever happens, I'm going back. And it's going to be flipping banging, bro. That's what. So, bro, don't worry, bro. My death has been dealt with. I'm alive again. Okay?
Jazakallah khair. That's good to hear. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, Uzma.
Please. Oh, sorry.
Uzma, she's back, and give her one more shot.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu Uzma.
I'm so sorry. I accidentally pressed the button, but now that I'm on, I just wanted to say that thank you for everything that you guys have done, and honestly, the support has been immense. And thanks for mentioning my name yesterday on your video as well.
We're super happy. We're super happy to have you, Uzma, and we appreciate your words.
Yeah, and also if you need me or any of my members of family to help in phase 3 for anyone else getting through,
you'll get to realize that we don't treat people like customers or like we owe you anything. We don't owe you squat. And when you're part of this team, is one effort. There'll be lots and lots. Do this, get up, grab this, do that. I'm giving you this. Don't you worry. Ask Omar. Ask Omar how many hours he spent on the task that I've given him. People in the group that I've been asking individually, whatever. So don't you worry. If we need anything, we know that we can rely on you folks. But we appreciate.
Please let us know, inshallah.
Please unmute yourself, Uthman, and then Lutfi.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam, Uthman.
I've just got 2 questions. The first question is I think you've already answered the question anyway. It's regarding the withdrawing the money from the e-wallet if you've successfully purchased the package. And my second question is that the email that you get given after you do successfully purchase the package, it says that there might be a difference of 1 or 2 days. Do we know the exact days? If you know the exact days as to when we'll be flying in or out, or will that be given?
What does it say? I can't remember what it says. What does it say?
It says, I think on the email it says that the days might change 1 or 2. Like
what days? Take your time, bro. Breathe.
Okay. So basically, the days that we've been given from May the 24th to
open up the email. Yeah, Usman, open up the email. Nobody's in a rush. This is not Nusuk here. Not waiting for bloody OTP.
Okay.
Open up the email. Look at the email.
Okay.
Read to me what it says on the email. Take your time.
Yeah.
It's nice not having to relax and not having to worry about bloody OTPs. Yeah, I thought I'd get some sleep. And Danish took it all. Yeah, I thought that I was going to get some sleep. Danish said, no, I'll take it. All the way through this Nusuk madness, Danish slept. He slept before it, slept during it, he slept after it. He's been sleeping on the plane. Danish, tell us, where are you, Danish?
Okay, I've got it here. It says, please note that the dates may change by 1 or more days when the e-ticket is issued. So will we get informed as to the exact dates as to when we're flying from and to Saudi Arabia, or what's going to happen?
That's all it says.
Yeah.
Dates of the e-ticket that will be issued may differ by 1 or 2 days. That's all it says, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually the same statement that we said. So that's not something from them. They're basically covering Al-Bayt's back with that statement, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, so is the flight 100% confirmed? As far as I'm concerned, it is. But I like people to wait before they buy connecting flights. Faisal is different. He's not using his flight. But people are going to buy connecting flights or book kind of, detailed kind of things or whatever. Then I would say you guys hold on. That's all. All right? But I will give you the go-ahead within, inshallah, Wednesday, by the end of next week, inshallah. Is that clear, Uthman?
That's fine. Jazakallah khair.
Barakallahu feek. Go ahead, Ahmed.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam rahmatullah.
Barakallah feek. May Allah reward you, inshallah. I have two questions. One is, I am already verified. My wife is not verified yet. So...
Okay, and you're both together in the Shisma, in the family?
Yes, family.
You're the lead pilgrim and you are verified and she's not verified?
Yes.
Which country?
USA, Minnesota.
And what is the situation in terms of green card? She's on green card?
No, both of us citizens. Both of us citizens.
Citizens, okay.
Yeah.
And Chief, you've been in touch with these guys?
Yeah. No, not that I can see.
Okay.
So,
just
no, he hasn't. I haven't.
Yeah,
I'll message him now.
Okay, Sayyidi, you're going to be messaged now by Uthman, okay, and he's going to help you, inshallah, get Hoya verified, inshallah.
Inshallah. Well, the second question, which I don't understand quite, is that better to go to the phase 3 or phase 2?
Who told you about this program?
My Mahruz, Dr. Mahruz, that he went with you last time.
Okay.
He's our Imam, because he was good with him.
Oh, mashallah. Wonderful. Sallim alayhi wallahi. Sallim
alayhi.
So then, okay. So if you want the same experience as he had, okay, then yes, wait until phase 3. Wait until phase 3. Just follow our instructions in this group.
Okay.
And in touch with Uthman, who has just messaged you. And whether you need to speak to him or whatever, then, inshallah, he will support you, okay?
Jazakallah khair, barakallah feek.
Barakallah feek. Yallah, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Please go ahead, unmute yourself, Lutfi.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, thank you for all what you are doing. Probably I would say in the beginning, I was one of the people who have the Hajj checkbox, but through my learning with you, basically, I just learned the journey and everything. I changed my mind, moving from my comfort zone. I live in DC. In Maryland, DC area, but unfortunately, I was not able to secure
in phase 1.
Phase 1.
Yes.
I fill out the form. The form. Okay. I think I am open two people by bedroom or the quad or anything.
Okay. And who are you with? Who are you with?
I'm alone. I'm not with my wife.
That's fine.
I am alone. I'm open to two. Any option, basically. That's
fine. So I would say that it is very important that you obviously keep an eye on the channel, not the chat so much, but if you can and have the patience with the chat, then that's great. But the most important thing are these webinars. Next one will be on Thursday night, inshallah, and then there will be another one as well. And you just keep in touch with us on the group, and we will make a plan to try our best. If it is successful because the plan is going to be a detailed and difficult one. It might be, it might not be, I don't know. But we just need to wait for more people to fill in the form. And then we know that we've got the correct data. Then we can make a plan. Then we will give you the advice of what you will do in phase 3, inshallah. We will let you in phase 3. We will let you know, inshallah. But you're going to be with us يعني سيكون اتصال يعني بيننا يعني كل يوم فما في شيء.
Yeah, I follow all your live.
خلاص, you're in the right place. بارك الله
فيك. You're USA, yes?
Yes, I live in USA. I live in Maryland.
Okay, that's fine. جزاك الله خير لطفي. الله يرضى عليك. بارك الله فيك.
Thank you. Thanks.
Who is next? I think it was Hamza, but I don't see his name anymore. So let's go with Abdullah Najib.
Assalamualaikum, Sheikh. My question is regarding the event on the 4th of May.
Yes.
I most likely won't be able to attend because I have my A-levels. So will this be recorded so I can watch it later?
Yes, it will be, inshallah. Will it be? Yes, it will be. Yeah, of course it will be, yeah, because it's streamed. Yeah, it's streamed via YouTube and it records automatically. It will be, bro. Don't worry about that, inshallah. Inshallah, you're going to smash your A-levels, bro.
All right, jazakallah khair.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hamza, if you're there, please unmute yourself. Hamza, if not Hamza, then Hamza, you there? No? Okay, please unmute yourself, Afraz.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. So I have a question. My husband and I are trying to go. We didn't make it in phase 1, so we are waiting for phase 3 now. You mentioned that the customized flight will also be an option from US?
Yes.
So will that be a different package? Because so far there's only one package, A1400 US, that comes with the flights.
Correct. But in phase 3, there will also be an option to choose a custom flight, which we will not be recommending, of course, because it will only increase the time taken to check out, which is to your detriment. So it's not something that we recommend. However, we don't know what the situation will be in phase 3. We do have the possibility, I'm just throwing it out there, that over the next few days, we're going to change strategy entirely, and we might create like another name, another program, another entity. Everything is on the table right now. So it might just be on Thursday or on, not Thursday, but like on Sunday or whatever, we say, guys, go for this. And if you don't get this existing 1400 program, then this is the program that you go for. It's run by so-and-so, and let them try their best. Or, guys, we've got a new thing with a new set of flights, with a new whatever to try and get the remaining in. This is what, so you're just going to have to wait. Just follow, patient, make sure you follow everything, stay educated on everything. That's going to put you in the best place, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay.
Go ahead, Bushra, please unmute yourself. Or Hamza, if you're there.
Go ahead, Bushra.
Thank you for your advice regarding Manchester. Alhamdulillah, I was able to secure a spot for that. Alhamdulillah. I had 3 questions, so I'll make it really quick. The first question was with regards to withdrawal. Just for an ease of mind, if I click on the withdrawal button, it wouldn't cancel my booking. It's just withdrawing the money in the wallet, right?
It depends upon how much is in there, bro.
Not the whole thing. They've taken money out. I think it was like, they're taking the money out. So it's just remaining there.
Fine. Just don't do anything else other than refund. Okay? It says refund there. Apply for refund or withdrawal or whatever it is. That's all you do. Don't go into any other settings. Only focus on it. Don't do anything else.
Jazakallah khair. Second question was with regards to phase 3. What time was it that it's coming live? So then I could just be on hand.
I reckon it'll be UK evening, but nobody knows.
Evening. Okay. And then the third question was with regards to 4th of May. Do you have a rough timing when it will begin? So then me and my husband decide if we should stay the night.
It'll be, what will probably happen is that folks from London will start in the morning, coming up, and from Scotland and from Wales and whatever, setting off around 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. We look to kind of gather folks to have a little bit of a snack, this, that, whatever, around 1 o'clock. And then we have Salah at the masjid with Sheikh Abdul Ghaffar leading. And then we will basically go all the way from 1 o'clock all the way to around 7:30. So it'll be a full day. People will be able to get back for midnight, basically. It's because a lot of people like to stop off and get some nice food here and there. Manchester, Windsor Road, blah, blah, blah. So it's a full day. But also, when I make a program, there'll be a system. A lot of people like to pitch in and, create a bigger vibe, everyone brings snacks, this, that, whatever. It's a really nice vibe. So it's a full day program, full day.
Okay, that's good to know. I'm a baker, so if there's any requests for any baking stuff for that day.
What we need. Well said. Of course you can. Why not?
Hi, thank you.
Please unmute yourself, Unas, and please everybody else keep raising your hands because they keep disappearing. Unas.
Go ahead, Unas, go on. Speak.
If not Unas, then A. Samad.
Ya Abdullah, Ya Samad.
If others have questions, please raise your hand because those are the last two. Rabia
wants to speak.
Go ahead, Rabia, unmute yourself. Hamza Zamani, if you're there, please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
How are you guys doing? How's
We're doing good.
everybody? How are you, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Although I was
Hanging in
looking in
there.
the mirror, I
Hopeful.
swear to God, my eye bags are so bad. I said, Qassam, man, I'm going on all kinds of flipping webinars, TVs, and the things are getting big, man. I need some of this ladies' cucumbers. Right, go ahead, Rabia.
Yeah, I got bags too from sleepless nights and just, the stress and the trauma that Nusuk gives us. But alhamdulillah. So my question is about the third phase. You talked about the custom flights. How does that work? Because I live in Texas and it'll be better for me to take a flight from DFW instead of JFK. Is that?
So obviously it's too early for that right now. I mean, It's good to think about it.
Yeah, I know.
Because we don't know anything right now. How many spaces we even in the program? Are we going to create a new program? Are we going to be custom only in that program? So.
And am I even going to get in?
Yeah, well, that's that as well. But on that point, if we get a feeling that there's more visas than spaces, right? Mm-hmm. Then we would be telling people use the custom option, right? Because then the time pressure is not there. Do you understand what I mean? Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot to consider. Who then? So now if the country quota is not your enemy and now it's about just taking a chance against everybody else, then it's Bismillah, Tawakkal Allah, and then, so there's a lot to take in. We will be looking at that very closely over the next 10 days. It might take us 10 days to get the strategy out, but it'll be enough in time so that you're in the best place. Everything will be tailored to every person, inshallah. I know you filled in the form, so that's all you needed to do now. Just leave the rest to us.
Okay, and are we going to get some help with this Nusuk thing this time? Because I was all by myself and I couldn't. I was going crazy. I did have help.
No problem at all. And what we will do this time is that we will have individual people now, because there's so many in the group that are going to want to do this, and so they've already had the experience of doing it for their own packages this year. And so we're going to buddy people up individually. And so there will be the backup. And so therefore you don't need to be using the chat, but rather you're just going to be DMing between your buddy, right? Who'll be trying for you. And so that's going to be a system. And the chat will be open for some people who do it generally anyway, picking up the leftovers as such. So it'll be a good system, inshallah. Don't worry.
Okay.
Backup for
Okay,
everybody.
inshallah. All right. Thank you so much. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Let's try Unas once more.
Assalamu alaikum. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to ask you, Sheikh, would you recommend that I change the password just because my current one is a little sensitive, and I saw yesterday people were offering their help, which I thought was great. But just knowing the way Nusuk is, I'm kind of afraid to change the password right now.
Just remind me, I've forgotten. What's wrong with the password?
Oh, the password, like my Nusuk login, because how some people, yeah, password.
I thought it said passport. Password. What do you mean? Why would the password have a problem?
I just have
so you can share it.
Yeah, exactly.
To make it something simpler so you can share it.
Exactly.
Oh. Wallahi, I'll be honest with you, changing anything in Nusuk, I don't like the idea of, to be honest.
I got you, Sheikh. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I don't trust it at all.
My password is Hajj without AE.
Sorry, say it again. I missed it.
The chief said that my password is Hajj without AE.
All right, Jazakallah. Thank you.
What a hater you feel that get, man. I swear to God.
Hamza.
145 today, Chief. 145.
Hamza, third try. Please unmute yourself. Hamza, if not,
Me?
Go.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, Hamza. How you doing, bro?
Alhamdulillah. How are you? Just chilling?
Bro, no doubt about it. I'm relaxing, bro, man. I'm here with the king of relaxation. I've got to relax in front of you at least, innit, bro?
No, my finger must have slipped. I didn't mean to ask a question.
No doubt about it, bro. That's the only thing better than relaxing is to go full relax and sleep all the way through, bro. But we're happy to have you, bro.
Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Alright, salam. All right, that's relaxing. Qasim, go ahead. Qasim, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam rahmatullah.
Brother, I just wanted to ask you, is your package Hanafi friendly?
We hate Hanafis, bro. We eat them in the mornings, and then if there's anything left over, then we have them for snacks, after Asr time. Hanafi Asr time, not Shafi Asr time. Hanafi Asr time, because we're so full from all the, the fat. Yeah? Relax, bro, okay? Relax. Hanafi. That 3/4 of the group is Hanafi, bro. So if we are not Hanafi friendly, then you are in big trouble.
Okay, Jazakallah for that.
Barakallah.
I'll book your package on phase 3.
You brave man, bro. You brave man.
Bro, he's gonna have to consult Sahil first, man. I'll speak to the Oracle first.
Go speak to Mawlana Sahil Hakim. He'll tell you whether we're Hanafi friendly or not. He's our filter. Right. Who's next?
Salman, please unmute yourself, Salman.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, Salman.
Jazakumullah khairan for the guidance and support for the whole team.
Barakallah.
I got a message forwarded from a friend of mine in another group, and they sent a message saying important update for confirmed package holders, and said that if you were fortunate enough to ensure secure a package, alhamdulillah, please do not request a refund of the excess amount for now. We have received reports that some users who requested refunds of the excess amount actually had their entire package amount refunded, which unfortunately removed them from the package. Do you think this is any truth to that?
I mean, here's the problem. If a person comes and calls you and says, I've just removed my package, yeah? And we say to that person, how on the planet did you just do that? And they said, I requested a refund, yeah? Then all I can do in my head is to say that it's possible when you select the refund that you refund the package, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
In truth, it doesn't mean that, does it? We don't know whether this guy is not knowing what he was doing. He's gone to my profile. He's gone to something else, blah, blah, blah. He's not done it the clear, obvious, simple way, which is just to press the refund of the remaining count, whatever, whatnot. The refund has got nothing to do with the package, right? And so unless, if they are not very good with the thing, then they should leave it. They shouldn't risk it. And if it's only a couple of quid, then they shouldn't risk it either. A couple of dollars, they shouldn't risk it either. Then there's no reason. But if there's like 4,000 or 5,000 riyal in there, then that's like $100, $200 or something, I think. I don't know, right? And don't go full stupid and go into, my profile and cancel, because your package can't be refunded. It can only be canceled, right? And you can then do it again. So I personally find it very difficult how a person can completely, refund their entire package by doing that. However, can I say to you, I haven't been rushing towards it. I have been at all times consistently saying from the beginning that you should put in the extra money, and you should from now be ready to lose 20, 30 bucks, 40 bucks. You should wipe it away. Why? Because normally I tell my people not to get a refund until they're on the plane, just in case. And if you lose some money, then lose some money. But in those times, there was no tax being taken. Now it is being taken, and people are already bitter at the charges that they're charging, and they're saying, I'm not letting them take another penny, and I'm going to do it. And so if I'm asked the question, right, should I take the refund or not? And I say no, because, why would you? And they say, what do you mean, why would we? After 14 days of the top-up, I'm about to get charged 2.5%. Show some respect. That's £100. He's got a fair point. But I personally, I don't want anybody to refund. But I'm not ideologically against it, right? I mean, if a person is baradika guy, normal guy, goes on and he does it properly, there's no way they can get the package refunded. No way. Unless that person has actually gone, I said, I'm cancelling my package, gone into dashboard, gone into X, gone into Y, never even seen the option, frankly. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm comfortable with people refunding, and I'm very comfortable with them leaving the money until there's, the visa's been issued. Once the visa's been issued, then who cares, if they refund the package or not? It doesn't matter. Money's gone anyway. Everything's gone and paid. Tickets are bought. You got the visa. Who's going to stop you, right? And Al-Bayt have bought the room. Your room is done. Thing is done. So for me, it's safer to do it later. But that means you're going to have to swallow the $30, $40, $50 that you're going to lose out of tax. And don't blame me when you see me. You know what I mean?
Yep. Jazakallah khair. Barakallah feek.
Barakallah feek.
Just a heads up, someone on the group mentioned that when they requested a refund, it gave them the exact amount that was being refunded as well. So it's saying exactly how much is.
That's exactly what I thought. Like, what has that got to do with the package? It's a really good point, because a lot of people in their mind, when they report this and they mess it up, they don't tell people the messing up in the middle. You know what I'm saying? And so they didn't realize that, and they associate the refund of the package with with the fact that actually they messed up in the middle. They went in to refund the package. They ended up cancelling the program. It was them, that made the program cancellation mistake, but they said and only connected it to requesting a refund. I find it very difficult. So, a normal human being is not going to, have this problem. Shaliza, raise her hand.
If I could just prioritize Halima, since she's phase 2.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Halima, unmute yourself. Halima, if you're there, please unmute yourself. Okay, if it's not working, Halima, you can try to leave and come back. I can read you her question, to be honest. She posted it in the chat. She said, in Al-Bayt public packages, will there be no group guide or sheikh, or is it totally independently managed by pilgrims from flight to Hajj journey? What would be the major difference except the group flights? The reason I'm asking this question now, even though the public packages show it includes a guide in each package, is because I got confused hearing something like public packages all do it yourself. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
So, Halima, and everybody that's going to go for a public package, they are usually the cheapest, and they are usually not connected to any kind of program or any people or whatever. And therefore, they are minimal hands-on. They're people who really for experienced people, and they are for people that got a bit about them, right? And they will have a guide, of course. But that person will come directly from Al-Bayt. So it's not great, basically, but it will come directly from Al-Bayt. They'll have a guide, probably, and there'll probably be like a scholar covering like, a whole like group of packages. And he won't be like in particular with any one, but he'll be around to give fatwa to anybody that needs it. It's an entirely different type of experience. But you will have a guide. You won't be left alone. But the people that will be taking it don't really care about guides, and they just want to get over and done with themselves.
If I can tell you my experience, because I dealt with some of these people.
Louder, Chief. Louder, Chief.
It's very, I'm not going to say disorganized, but there's not a lot of framework to it. Yeah.
There's no framework. What do you mean? No, there's no framework.
No, as in, there is, but do you remember last year when we were checking people into the hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was checking people into the hotel. Me and Altaf were doing it. These are those people.
Exactly.
So they're very little.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no. This has to have people that willing to hang around, willing to do things themselves.
It's only for the money, really, that you do this.
Yeah, that's a good summary. This would only be for the money. You're praying like, it's got to be half price. You wouldn't take it unless it's like half the price or something crazy. Then your expectations are lesser. It's horrible, to be honest. Anyway, I say horrible. If I was going on myself, that would be the one I'd go on myself. But then I only want to go Hajj by myself, and then I'd walk the whole thing by myself. So that's something different. But you got to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah.
I think Shaliza was next.
Yes.
Sister Zubaydah, I just want to say thank you so much. Your words are very comforting and very kind. I appreciate that. I just wanted to say, I know it's been said already, but I'm just clarifying that we are not missing out anything on phase 2. The next phase we're waiting for is phase 3, and inshallah it will be smoother than phase 1 in the sense that there's not always such a rush for it in phase 3. Right?
Inshallah. And obviously, if we find out different, no different, the good thing is that we have 10 days to plan for it. And we will be planning for it every day, all day, many nights. We're going to be planning for it. And we will keep you updated. Whatever is going to be in your interest, whether it's with us or somebody else, whoever it is, we just need to know who's actually going to be fully committed to us so that we can try and make a plan. And if we can, great. And if we can't, then alhamdulillah ala kulli hal.
And I think in terms of that refund conversation, I think it's important that everybody knows, especially if they're going to be communicating by email, refund has a different idea than withdrawing. And I think the button is withdrawn.
I didn't hear that. The car sound in the background is very loud. You got to speak louder. And I didn't hear that last sentence.
I was just saying that I think everybody has to be careful when they're sending communication about whether they're refunding or withdrawing their funds, right? A refund can be equated with cancellation, and to withdraw the rest of your funds is to close your accounts, right? So I think people just need to be careful how they're communicating what it is that they want to do.
Sure. It'd be good to actually go and try to do that. Someone put it, Umar or someone go into the platform and try to do it. Just clarify, and that's it. Thank you for that. Right. Yeah.
Please go ahead, Umair.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. I'm just speaking on behalf of my husband. My name is Zainab. I just had a couple of questions. I'm calling in from Canada, and unfortunately, we weren't able to get a spot in phase 1, but are fully committed to going with you guys in phase 2. And so my first question was, how many spots can we expect to be available in phase 3 for Canadians?
Yeah, we don't know yet, but that's what we're going to be working on over the next few days. So you're just going to give us time. We're hoping it'll be ready for Thursday. If it's not, then I'll tell you that we're not ready for Thursday. And whenever it is that we're ready to know, have a plan, we will let you know. either way, whatever happens, enough time to be able to make alternative plan Bs, plan Cs, whatever it is. But we will let you know, inshallah. That doesn't mean that you should stop and freeze. You can go look around, think, plan X, Y, Z. But I do need to know that you are 100% committed, which you've already stated, and then try a camel and look at other places as well, because you might be 100% committed, but can we 100% deliver? Absolutely not. We cannot 100% deliver. We will have to go and try to find a solution based upon the data that comes back, which we have not fully got yet. From neither of the three sources, neither you guys, neither Nusuk, neither we're still fighting in the blind. So, yeah.
Understood. Thank you. And then, of course, in terms of, how you talk about you're going to plan with us as best as you can, we're very open to whatever configuration changes, like quad or triple, so is that going to be incorporated in that? Because we're very flexible. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. In actual fact, let me make it super clear. The only way that the majority of people now that are going to get on is to be completely flexible. It's as simple as that. Because, like we said, we already know two facts. Yes, we know half of the places are gone, and we know all the triples are gone. So by definition, you have to be flexible. You hear what I'm saying? And the reason that all of our people got on without I don't know of anybody that got to checkout and didn't make it, is because they followed the strategy. And they went for rooms that they knew that they had a chance of getting because of the strategy. So, yes, we're going to put strategy out, tell people where the best chance is, regardless of whether they like that or not. So absolutely, it's assuming a full level of flexibility. If people are not flexible, good luck, man.
Okay, perfect. Jazakallah. Thank you so much.
I can't remember if we already spoke with Salman or if it was another one.
Salman Siddiqui we've spoken to.
Okay, so next I think is Anjum. Anjum, please unmute yourself. If not Anjum, then Hanan.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
So now I understand all the issues that one may face if they decide to go with public packages in phase 2. But the question is, what are the other options if we need to drop the kits, and then fly from Cairo, for example? What other options do we have? And when will we know if you're going to offer a public package?
Sure. So we don't know now, and we'll have a better idea on Thursday. And that way, so for some people who are like in your scenario, where you are absolutely dependent on having to take a flight and drop kids, blah, 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 then I would, in my opinion, start to consider a public package now, because yours is a unique situation, which is like the pressure is upon us to try to find a solution as soon as possible anyway. But when you kind of say, right, but I absolutely have to get a public package because I have to have flexibility on my flight and I have to be able to, whatever, then you should start researching other possibilities that are not part of this program, so that on Friday you can at least whatever. And we will try before then, Thursday night, to tell you whether it was possible with us, or please go and find something that's going to suit your price bracket, your travel itinerary, etc.
Okay, perfect. Jazakumullah. And so we'll be allowed to book on Friday, like Canada?
Yes. No, okay. Sorry, no. Sorry, I forgot. My apologies, Hanan.
No
you won't be able to book on Friday anyway. So, but you can only buy your public package option on Wednesday after.
19th?
So 19th, yeah. So you're going to be buying in phase 3 because you're Canadian. You're going to be buying in phase 3, but you have the option of buying everything in phase 3. So the custom packages like ours, if there's space, or a new idea that we come up with, or an alternative one that we suggest, or just choosing any of the ones that you prefer that are global packages that would have opened up in phase 2. And normally they are very difficult to sell because they're very simple and they're very unsupported. And so they don't really sell out quickly. There's not much demand for them. So you've always got a very comfortable chance of getting one of those programs that suits your travel. All of that on the 19th, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. Jazakumullah.
Barakallahu feek.
We'll try again with Anjum. Anjum, please unmute yourself.
Let's make this the last two, with that.
Yeah. And then if not Anjum, then Osama is the last person. Go ahead,
Assalamu
Osama.
alaikum, Sheikh. Yeah, no, I think it's been a tough last night, but I think it's inshallah maybe for the best. And I think it gives me comfort, like when you said that you're already considering expanding to a bigger place, or so it just gives me even more comfort that there is a bigger chance, hopefully, inshallah. Just in terms of the logistics of it, so are you thinking altogether a new venue, or are you thinking more like close by places? Like, how is that going to work? Like,
exactly. The answer is no, because we are so blind at the moment. So blind at the moment. We are with no numbers, with no data, for all the reasons I mentioned, with not having the ability to be able to have that meeting with Al-Bayt because they don't have the data. So this will take time to put together. The good thing is that we do have time. You can't do anything anyway. Nobody can do anything anyway until 19th anyway. So it's just about an issue about patience and just letting everything kind of, play its way out.
Yeah. Okay. Jazakallah, and thank you.
Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair. Guys, I just want to say something before we close. Just a point that I do take all of the comments seriously. I know there's a million. I've got about 2,000 to catch up, but I do sit down and go through them when I get a moment because it takes my mind off things. But you must know that I have my thingy. With Dad normally is very generous, but she's been really upset with me these days. I don't know why. And she normally does this to everybody where she releases a key, but she didn't do it this time, and I don't know why. My key is that I respond to people's questions using signs. I don't have the time to write answers all the time. I'm way too busy for that. And so I just want to give you some advice. When you ask a question on the chat, don't put two scenarios. Don't say, so is it like this or is it like that? Don't say that. So if you've got a question, say, this is blah, how I understand it. So is it like this? That's how you should ask the question. And I will say 100%. And that means that question's answered. Or I'll put my thumbs down, which means the answer is no, you're wrong. It's not like that. So don't give me options because I have to ignore those questions because I ain't got the time, right? So I will like, love, dua, all this kind of stuff. But the most important is in the way I answer questions, which is thumbs up. That's good move, good decision. A legal question, I put 100%. That's the correct answer. And I put thumbs down, which indicates no. And the face, the is whatever that means. But that used to be so nice and generous back in the days, but she's getting tired and bored now. Right. I think we're done, folks. Been on for 2.5 hours, which is long, but that's good. Barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullah khair. Inshallah, we'll catch up in the chat. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka Allahumma wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.